Hello, everyone in the WrestleMania world. We are live on night two. Sorry, we are a tad bit late, but shit happens. But we are here, and we really didn't miss anything. So everything is A-O freaking K. Once again, it's the dynamic duo starting off the show because that's what me and Pat do. The others will be joining us at some point this evening. It's all good. So match one is the Triple Threat Women's Championship. So far, what I've seen has been a decent match, Pat. I'm not gonna lie. I like
I mean,
all three of these can go. All three of these ladies can go. So
yeah. I mean, again, I've we've discussed it, of course, and it's like we just found that the way that they built this match has been a little on the ridiculous side, and it's mostly because I guess they wanted Io on the card, which I understand and everything, but you know, then just the way they went about doing it, and yeah, and I've always said Bianca can go in the ring, but yeah, like her character is just I've never cared for her character, and it's like she's been getting booed a lot more recently. Like she got booed on Friday and SmackDown. She got a fair amount of boos here tonight, and she's kind of been healing it up in the match so far. She's done like the kind of like kiss my ass gesture a couple times already. Um,
okay.
so I'm still kind of interested to see exactly again how they play this. And like I said, I have a feeling stuff's not over between her and Jade. But it's like Bianca really can't win this match unless they're going to do a draft really soon because then Raw wouldn't have a women's title unless they move her to Raw. But then they move her to Raw, they'll never do anything with her and Jade again for a while. So again, once again, it's like, well, what the hell comes next, especially after, last night and everything.
Yes, 100% agree with you.
So
I think this is the stronger card of the two nights for sure. I think last night was kind of you had four title matches with three title changes, which I'm not sure when the last time we've seen that many title changes at a WrestleMania event was, but it's something different a little bit for them to do that. But I
well,
guess the main thing of the night was a double swerve. But honestly, I just I I believe that wasn't something that was really totally surprising. I think a lot of us felt there was going to be a Heyman swerve and going with Roman as we discussed yesterday. I mean, yeah, going with Seth as we discussed yesterday.
there were a lot of title changes at last year's WrestleMania.
Was it really?
Well, okay, so we had the
I kind of forget, we were there. So
yeah,
sometimes I
I know
feel
what
like
you mean.
being there and kind of forgetting, like,
Yeah, they had the 16 ladder match for the men's tag team titles, and that's when they got split because A-Town Down Under grabbed the SmackDown titles, Awesome Truth grabbed the Raw titles, whereas
oh, that's right.
Judgment Day went into the match as champions. And Sammy beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title. That was on night one.
That's right.
Then on night two, there were four title changes because Drew beat Seth, then Priest cashed in on Drew, and Bailey beat Io, and Cody beat Roman. So he had four title changes on night two, so then six for the whole WrestleMania.
Mm, okay.
So, like you said, there were three title changes last night. So will we get to six total title changes this year? I'm gonna say no.
I
Because I think Io's gonna retain,
I hope so.
and I think that would be it then. I think there's only three title matches tonight.
I think.
No, there's four. There are four. I mean, I do expect Cena to beat Cody. I kind of expect Dom to end up with the Intercontinental title. I doubt Breaker is the one that eats the pin. And I don't really know about the women's tag team titles again. If they're gonna have Becky be the mystery opponent, then I have a feeling they will change those tag titles, but I don't think they should.
Liv and Raquel need those titles for a while.
Yeah, I think Liv and Raquel should hang on to them.
That's why I think it's going to be. It might be someone from NXT. Maybe it's Roxanne. Hey, I would take Roxanne being the mystery partner. I
Yeah,
don't know.
but she's like a total heel right now, so
I know. It sucks. I'm not sure what they're going to do. We'll see who it is. I mean, I guess if you want Becky to come back, but she's been doing her a lot of stuff outside the ring right now. So I think it's a bit much to be having her come back and do like what worked for one night.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. It's like she comes back and it's just like for tonight, for just for them to lose. It's like who cares? And then it's like I don't want them to win either because then it's like I'm not saying like oh Becky's being relegated if she's just a co-holder of a tag team championship. I just don't see where they go with it really all that much. So
Yeah. Another thing too is AJ had texted me a little bit ago saying that the odds for this match were in favor of Bianca and they flipped like at the last minute to Io.
it feels in a way to me like Io's the one who needs the title the most.
Mm-hmm. She
You
does.
know, problem is I don't know who your top heel woman is on Raw right now. Is it Liv and Raquel? I mean,
I mean, technically, I guess yes.
I mean, if you're gonna actually put Roxanne on the main roster, I'm sure you can do something with that, or with her. But yeah, it's like I really do. The audience just doesn't want to boo Rhea. So,
No.
and guess what? We were talking about it last night.
Mm-hmm.
I see holes in Rhea's stockings.
Of course.
I
Oh, yeah,
can't tell.
I see it.
I can't tell if Bianca has any though.
Mm. This is a good match to start off WrestleMania though, night two. Like seriously, 100%. As Jeremy sending us text messages. I agree.
So does that mean does he want us to like be reporting his text to the audience? Yeah.
Ah, well, I mean, with him, who knows? It's all good. Yeah, I mean, if anybody of the three, you're gonna turn heel, Bianca will be the one to turn heel because everyone just loves. I mean, Bianca's been getting some booze lately, so um, wow, Jesus, Rhea has tears in her stockings all over the place,
Yeah.
especially the ones by her booty.
Well, that's one of the reasons why they were so noticeable.
I can't tell. I don't think Bianca does right now. I don't
I'm not
even
even.
know.
I'm not. Oh,
I'm not even sure if Bianca has any attached to her outfit, to be honest.
no. Bianca does have stockings on. I could tell. I don't know if Io does.
I doubt if Io does. She very rarely does with her outfits.
It's not a Japanese thing, I guess. I don't know.
No, not really, to be honest.
All right, so the Macho Man tonight, he's got like kind of like a black and purplish type outfit on. I will freely admit I have no idea when he wore something that looked quite like that.
No
The
comment.
real Macho Man. So
Maybe commentary.
I'm probably. You almost feel like, you want to ask him, hey, why didn't you try to, there we go. Why didn't you try to replicate Savage's WrestleMania 9 attire? So
Hmm. Oh, oh, she just whipped her with her hair.
wait, you were just only seeing a hair whip?
Yes.
Oh, I'm like way ahead of you then. Well, okay,
Uh,
I'm gonna
I just,
pause.
I just saw. Did you see the finish?
Yes.
Okay, I just saw the pin just happen right now.
Okay, so I'll give it about another 5 or so seconds here. Amazing how these things can't be in sync. Like
No, no,
we're in the same time zone. So I don't know.
I know. That was a good match. I liked it.
No, yeah, it was good. It was good. It kept it moving. There weren't really a lot of spots where it was like, oh, you notice that one of them's not involved in it at the moment. There weren't like, huge periods where like one person was out of the match. So that's always the biggest problem with triple threat matches is like, we're like, oh, 2 minutes in the penalty box for this person, more or less.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like there were spots like that on this one.
No, no, not at all.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if I remember saying before we went off last night about the times of the matches.
Just the You mentioned the Flair Tiff match time, Jade's time, and then the last match's time, but that was really it.
Okay, so Jay beating I'll just run them over again. Jay beating Gunther went 16:30. New Day beating the War Raiders went 9:15. Jade beating Naomi went 9:20. Like I said, I would have lost a ton of money if I had, you know, bet over
Doesn't
under
bet on
five
that one.
minutes and gone with the under. So that's this is why I don't bet people, not just that I don't have money to spare. Jacob beating LA Knight went 10:40. El Grande de Maricano defeating Ray Phoenix was the shortest match of the night at 7:55. Tiffany beating Charlotte says 19:05. And I think I did say this before we went off because I think I said 40 minutes and we were like, there's no way it went 40 minutes. And now if it did say that at some point last night, again, I don't remember for sure,
You did.
but Seth beating Roman and Punk, it now says went 32:55.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that felt right because
That match actually started at 10:25 and the match was over at like what, 11:02
Yes.
well, no,
or
I
11.
remember it being like 10:57 or so
Oh, yeah, yeah.
when the match ended, and like you said, it started at 10:25, so
Yeah,
that's pretty much 32 minutes, so
yeah. Hello, Mr. Shane.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Cool.
I can't hear anything.
Go listen
Uh,
to him.
okay.
I'm so thrilled, by the way, that Cardi B is going to be hosting SummerSlam because that's what wrestling fans give a fuck about.
Hell yeah.
I guess.
I'm joking. But I did get the microphone set up and I got the webcam set up. I don't look
Oh,
as grainy, but I look really red, but it is hot as hell down here.
that's probably why.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So I caught bits and pieces of the match while I was dealing with some stuff over here. Maddox is here and he watched it and said it wasn't bad. From what I saw, it was a lot better than the women's matches yesterday.
Yes.
Um,
Agreed.
Surprised Io Sky won, kind of. Flavor Flav.
I'm not
She
really
needed to win that
surprised Io
match.
won.
Yeah,
Yeah, I felt like Io needed it the most.
yeah. I say
100%.
that, and then I realized, she did need to win that because Rhea has her own power to make people want to watch her.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't know Bianca,
She has a
but
good following, but right now, lately, she's been getting booed because of her little, threesome with Jade and Naomi situation. So we'll see
go
where that
on.
plays out going forward too.
Yeah,
All the guys are wearing black tonight in commentary. Okay.
yeah. And they switched Pat and Wade Barrett.
Yeah, well, the Spanish announcers were to the right of the main announcers last night, and they're to the left of them tonight. So
Huh.
I did find that
Interesting.
interesting because I was kind of like, why did they switch the positions?
So what's going to happen tonight that they made them do that?
Well, that's what you have to wonder. Like, what insane table spots are they going to do
Um,
tonight?
I
Maybe
mean,
an
I'm not.
upcoming match right here. So
Oh yes, street fight,
Yeah.
not just any street fight, a Sin City street fight.
this is the thing where it's like I feel both guys really need to win this match, but Drew I think could really stand the loss better. It's like Priest
Yeah,
has kind of been floundering ever since he lost the title.
Well, Drew's been floundering for months and months now.
But his character work has still been strong and the crowd's still into him and believes him and they're not going to like be disinterested with him, I don't think. I mean,
listen,
yeah, I feel like they may be kind of disinterested with Priest.
Damien's going to win tonight, and then Drew's going to come out with The Rock tonight to help John Cena win the title from Cody Rhodes, along with Travis Scott because he's in the house,
So
and
that
maybe Jey
so that
Uso.
so that way we have a Cody Drew feud while Cena's off doing fuck all.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking about
But
that today.
F-
Like,
filming
be-
movies, but
because I mean, think about it. Cena really doesn't have any movie things going on right now.
Peacemaker.
Yeah, but I think that's done. I think
I
he's done
think
filming that.
Peacemaker's yeah, I think
He's
Peacemaker's
done.
done filming because I
Yeah.
think it comes
Post.
back in a few months.
I hope
Yeah.
so. That's pretty good.
I think I saw. Let me look. I think I saw it's coming in August.
Yeah. There should be in post production for that now. So like right. So Cena doesn't have anything going on.
August 21st.
So
Peacemaker season 2.
here's the thing:
Be here
if
before
Cody
you know it. That's
wins,
right.
who's he feuding with? You're gonna keep like trying to find somebody for him to feud with.
Right,
Is
but
it
I
gonna be
think
Rock?
if
It can be
Drew
Cena.
if Drew loses another match, he'll basically turn into Sad Corbin.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Like there's no
Look where Corbin's at now.
okay, yeah, I didn't mean fired, but like it's just loss after loss. I can we name last time Drew won? I mean, I don't really watch the Raws or SmackDowns anymore, so I don't know if he has any wins, but he certainly doesn't have any PLE wins.
No,
I just
I
think
mean
it's doing him a disservice.
you can have
The last several PLE matches he were in there was like, one was an Elimination Chamber, one was a Royal
Okay, yeah,
Rumble. So
fair.
but still, I mean Drew loses, joins up with The Rock to help Cena win, and then Cody can, you know, have to feud with Drew to get a shot back at the title of Cena. You can do a lot of things with that. I mean, Drew is now the, Project Rock athlete.
the last time Drew won on PLE would have been SummerSlam against Punk.
Mm,
Yeah. So can you guys hear this tapping?
no.
Okay, cool. That's just in my headphones. Give me a couple seconds. I'll be right back.
Okay. I mean, they could do something like that. Maybe not. Maybe. It's just interesting. Like Drew's a heel, and then The Rock has Drew be his spokesperson for Project Rock apparel line now. So, I mean, it could be nothing, but why not play off that? Could be worthwhile. Could be a good storyline.
Mm.
But Drew's coming out first.
I'm happy to report the Yankees did not blow a lead in the ninth inning today.
I think we lost an extra innings to Arizona.
Well, they had a four. Yesterday, the Yankees had a 4-run lead going into the ninth inning, and Williams blew it. Williams has been very shaky, to say the least, so far. Today, Fried was pitching a no-hitter, and then all of a sudden, like, they changed the scoring of an earlier play from an error to a hit. I mean, it didn't matter. He didn't go the distance or anything, and he did give up another hit then at some point. But I was like looking at, was following the game, and I was like, I know it said he hadn't given up a hit, and then all of a sudden it's showing that there was a hit that he gave up. So
Very interesting stage thing for him.
yeah, I don't know what that thing is supposed to be. Is it some kind of video game tie-in?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm assuming.
Jeremy says that Gears of War.
Gyros of War?
Gears of War. It's a video game.
Gyros?
Gears.
I don't know. Gyros from Saturday Night Live.
Hmm.
I need some more juice for my gyro. You like it, a juice. The juice is good.
Juice is always good.
I get you some juice. Oh boy, the poor Orioles. They got 24 runs scored on them by Cincinnati today.
Ew.
Hey, the White Sox won
Yeah, amazing. Their fifth win of the year.
for their fifth time in 21 tries. And hey, you know what? You know what else you can take solace in, maybe, if you want to. They're not the worst team in the league this year.
How's that possible?
Because the Rockies are a fucking train wreck of epic proportions.
Oh, well, okay, we're the second worst.
Yeah.
It makes me a little better.
As of right now, there are only 3 teams in the majors that have fewer than 8 wins. That's the Twins with 7, the White Sox with 5, and the Rockies with 3.
Ooh, the Rockies. Well, there's no one on that team that people are going to want in the trade deadline because there's nobody worth wanting to trade for.
No, there really isn't. Hey, how about that Chris Bryant contract? What a fucking disaster that turned out to be.
Yeah.
And that would not have been good if they had set the pyro off on the turnbuckle that he's also standing on.
I know. I know. How bad that would have been. Oops, sorry, Drew. Wrong button.
But what's interesting, and obviously we're still less than a month into the season, but like the Royals are 9-14 with a -24 run differential. The White Sox are 5-16, and their minor run differential is -26. So it's not incredibly different, but just the way things work out, as they say. And
Oh,
um,
it's Doom. They just showed the graphic.
oh, okay. The Orioles have a 9-12 record now, and now their run differential is -20 after getting outscored by 22 runs today. So, but the Rockies have the worst, 3-17. They have a -53 run differential. It's just
What
terrible.
is ours? Is ours still Cubs still above 40 or is it below 40?
Cubs are at +41, which is actually now best in the majors.
I think
But
we have the most runs scored too, because we're averaging like 6.3 runs a game.
yeah, but only a 14-10 record, which is only good enough for the eighth best record in the National League right now.
Oh, yeah, that's because of our fucking bullpen that still doesn't know how to close games out.
No, I'm sorry, not eighth, seventh. The Mets, Phillies, Padres, Dodgers, Giants, and Diamondbacks all currently have better records.
I can tell you that out of those 10 losses, 5 of them were blown by at least
Yeah.
5 were blown by the bullpen.
Yeah, the Yankees currently have the best record in the American League and the best run differential in the American League. They have one loss yesterday that was definitely on the bullpen. I don't really remember about the other 8 off the top of my head. A little too early to be dissecting everything like that. But of course, I'm now going to because now I'm curious to see,
We had 2 losses earlier in the season against the Diamondbacks that were blown by the bullpen. There was another game against I think San Diego that our bullpen blew a win.
the Yankees lost 2 games at home to Arizona, 7-5 and 4-3. One of the relievers took a loss in the 7-5 game, but I'd have to see the exact circumstances. Rodon got the loss in the 4-3 game. They lost 4-5 in 11 innings at Pittsburgh. So that's obviously on the bullpen. Yeah, Williams took the loss in that game. But that game they were losing 4-1 and scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning. So then they lost 6-2 and 5-0 in Detroit. So those games are on the offense. They lost 9-1 to the Giants in 6 innings. That was during a game that was being played in rain, but that's obviously also on the offense and the starting pitching because Stroman was terrible in that game. And then he went on the IL. Then they lost 5-4 to the Giants. Rodon lost that game too. So there's really only 3 of their losses, I guess you could maybe really say, were the bullpen's fault.
Damien's intro is pretty cool. They have the guys playing his song. His outfit's cool.
Guy playing one of them devil guitars, as I call them.
I actually like the stage, how they have the fans on the stage, like the way it's set up. I would,
You mean
I
up
would,
on the top of the thing?
yeah, and they have them on the sides again tonight too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I would probably pay money for that.
I don't remember. I don't remember if they had anything like that last year.
No,
I know they had seats like above the stage because I remember I saw some like vantage point pictures and they didn't look like they were great seats at all because they looked fairly obstructed. Um, yeah. I mean, so that would be interesting to see if that's something they try to like replicate next year when they're in New Orleans.
yeah, it would be pretty cool actually.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously who knows how the set's going to look and what their setup's going to be. I mean, the Superdome is older,
You're
so I
done
don't
with this, Anakin.
so I don't think it's quite as open in that sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah, might not. Yeah,
Like they
maybe
might not have I don't know if they have as much overall interior space to really kind of play around with, stuff like that.
we could probably make something crazy work.
This is WrestleMania, Cole. Thank you.
No, we didn't know that, Cole.
No, very glad you're here to tell us these things. All right, these entrances are already taking way too long. Like I said last night, I thought the pace of the overall the show moved pretty well overall, and they did 7 matches and everything in 4 hours. But we're only into the second of 7 matches here tonight, and we're already 50 minutes into the show. And
Yep.
this match also really, not really, but this match has not even started yet. So let's cut to the fucking chase, man. I was taking measurements today,
Yes.
of my stuff that's going to have to go into storage.
Hmm.
Luckily, most of the stuff I already had written down, and I still had the paper for it. So it was like I had to write down like the stuff that kind of was brand new when I moved in here, which was the couch, the recliner, the end tables, the TV stand. Because it's like all that stuff's going to have to go in storage.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. So it's like, so the stuff I'm anticipating having to put in storage: couch, recliner, 2 end tables, dining room table with chairs and bench, 2 TV stands of varying sizes with the TVs, 2 bookcases, one which is a decent size, one which is smaller. And then I got, all these these media racks and everything. I can't really twist the camera. You can kind of see the one rack there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's only part of it. That's not even, that's like a third of it that you can see there. And I've got 4 of those.
Yeah, I remember seeing those up the stairs when I was at your place that time
Yeah,
last year.
and they are heavy as shit. So,
I believe that too.
um, it's like I obviously I need like my bed, I need my night table because I gotta put, got the lamp, gotta have the damn CPAP on something. Obviously I'm gonna need my dresser.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm really hoping this desk with my computer set up, if I can't take this little table that I've got the tower and the router on, okay, I can figure out where to put the tower. I don't care about the printer and the little printer card I've got because this printer doesn't even work. It keeps telling me that there's something wrong with the cartridge system, which was funny.
Mm,
It didn't say that before I had to change the cartridges. It works for scanning, but it's like I think my
nothing
system
else.
will have some, so it's like I don't really need to worry about that. But and it's like so like I'm gonna have all these boxes full of media, and other like collectible shit, which is got all those wrestling figures still,
Yeah, yeah.
which are downstairs in the storage cage, which I got to remember to file a facilities request to tell them to come cut the damn lock off the cage since I don't remember the combo to the lock. I just I thought I knew what it was, and then for every time I've tried, I've never been able to get it open because I was like, I remember even when I like first put it on everything, I was like, oh, it's 3 Yankee retired numbers. I thought it was like some combination of 5, which is Joe DiMaggio, 20, which is Jorge Posada, and 32, which is Elston Howard. But no combination of those 3 numbers that I tried worked. And I'm like, okay, was it 23 Don Mattingly instead of 20? But no comment, I couldn't get it to work. So
How about the
You have no
captain?
clue.
I'm just like, I'm gonna put in a request and be like, do me a favor, just come please cut this thing off. I have a key lock to put on it.
Sorry about the fellas, I'm back.
We see that.
Drew's taking selfies and a phone.
So, anyone talking about Drew's hairline?
No.
It looks a bit further back than it normally does.
Uh-oh, Drew's losing his hair.
Yes, it happens to you, Scottish people.
I think it happens to a lot of people. You see that?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Well, McIntyre will turn 40 in a month and a half.
Oh, really?
Yep.
He's older than I am.
Yeah, well, this is the thing you got to kind of remember about the WWE roster.
Most of them are.
Everybody that's currently on it is probably older than you actually realize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Like Joe and I have been talking about this for a few weeks on and off, but there's very few people on the roster in prominent roles right now who are in their 20s.
I mean, like legit prominent roles that are featured every week. It's very few and far between.
Yeah,
Like
like
everyone is like 35 and older.
yeah,
And there's
like
a ton of guys in the 40s.
like Tiffany's in her 20s, and uh she's not really fully on the main roster yet, but like Roxanne obviously is ridiculously young.
Drew has his hair straightened and he cut his hair.
Maybe that's what.
Rhea is still only 28.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
straightened his hair.
but like everybody else, yeah, like Io's about to turn 35. Bianca just turned 36. Whoa!
I didn't see what you just said. I
Oh,
see Drew's about to dive out of the ring now.
yeah. I think Pat's right before me. I'm a little bit before you, but that was a good dive.
Well, I'm just gonna do this real quick as we're watching this match. I'm just gonna go through the ages of everybody. Jey Uso is 39, will turn 40 in August. Gunther is 37, will turn 38 in August.
Yep.
The two New Day guys, Kofi is 43, will turn 44 in August. Xavier is 38, will be 39 in September. Eric is 40, will be 41 in August. Ivar's just turned 41. Jade is 32, she'll be 33 in June. Naomi is 37, she'll be 38 come November. Jacob is just turned 33 the other day.
It's more on the younger
Which
side,
makes him
like.
which makes him one of the younger people so far.
Yeah.
So why?
LA Knight's 42. His birthday's in November.
So
Go
do
ahead,
we have an
Shane.
idea of why we think that is? Like, do you think people just lose interest and they don't want to? Like, do we think there's not enough young wrestlers in the pipeline, if you will?
I think it's a combination of people not thinking maybe it's financially worth their while to, go through like the trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
I think it's also because guys stay healthier longer because I think a lot of these guys are smarter. Like, none of these guys are doing the roids or other recreational drugs or drinking as much as like the guys in the territory days and attitude era did. So like
Fair.
they're staying healthier longer. I think that's a big part of it. So it's like, and there is a sense then too. I think nobody really ever wants to retire because
Right.
they don't know what to do next.
Yeah, another thing too is you don't see, besides Drew's dive, you don't see a lot of WWE wrestlers taking a lot of risk with the big moves and the big spots.
Yeah,
Besides, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do, of course, that's just their style, but still,
yeah, but I think WWE is a little bit smarter about saying, look, we can't go balls to the wall for
all the time.
for
Yeah.
every fucking TV match, Tony.
So you gotta they save that shit for pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I think the other thing too is, you think about this too. NXT has been great. There's been a lot of great talent on there. A lot of talent that's, at WrestleMania has gone through NXT at some point, right? True homegrown or people that have left, that's worked there, left, come back, and went back to NXT, then moved back up to the main roster. But at the end of the day, too, look at all the NXT people that have been brought up that WWE has not known what to do with them once they've gone to the main roster.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people who have failed, and it could be some of it on them, some of it could be on creative, some of it on just sometimes changing someone's name to when they get to the main roster does not work. I mean, it helped Gunther, but it didn't seem to bother him. But others where they change names and stuff like that, it just seems that has been detrimental. Plus, like currently right now, you have two good talents that were in NXT for quite some time, Carmelo Hayes and Roxanne, and like, what are they doing with them? Carmelo is kind of an afterthought who has all this talent, and Roxanne's very talented. Every time they give her a chance, she exceeds and goes above and beyond. But she has no, true storyline to be had right now for her, which is kind of sad for the women's division.
I'm thinking
Jesus.
they've got some plans for her post Mania, but yeah, they need to like actually do
Yeah.
so.
She was in the
Because
Rumble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some things too, there's a handful of talent right now in NXT. It's like how long do you want them to stay on there before you move them up? Because there's a couple that could be moved up now too.
Razor's
So
Edge.
it's kind of like, what are they gonna do?
Oh my God, they actually came at a decent time tonight for once.
That's what she said.
I'm referring to my garbage collection people because they have a habit of coming very late, and especially on Sundays. There have been plenty of Sundays where they don't come until like 11:30 at night.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is, especially because it's like, yeah, this is an apartment complex, and the garbage service, it doesn't cost a lot, so that's why as a guy I always feel reluctant to complain. But it's like, how many people are probably already trying to go to sleep, for the night and everything because it's Sunday, you got to go back to work on Monday and everything, and they're coming around at a fucking 11:30 at night banging the shit around because they're never
Right.
quiet. They never take care to be quiet if they're here that late.
I can
So
tell you sometimes the garbage men in my area like show up at like 5:45 in the morning and they're banging the goddamn things around and shit. And like, oh,
yeah,
garbage
like
men are
So
here.
a lot of times when I still lived in Belfast, or my family home with my parents and everything, yeah, it's like most of the time our garbage collection people came like early in the morning, like, like say 6 o'clock ish and everything. But it was like, you're also living in a house, and so you're maybe slightly more insulated from the noise outside and stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I see Drew looks like he's got blood on his back.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
bleeding.
from the chair shots. And
Ah,
then yeah, it was like that a few minutes ago. I think it was from one of the chair shots, but that future shock certainly didn't help him
I was gonna
either.
say, yeah, that didn't help him. Anyway,
Hey.
continuing on with the ages.
Sorry.
Chad Gable is
Oh,
turned 39 last month. Ray Phoenix is 34. His birthday is not till December. Tiffany, as I said, is she's just about to turn 26.
Jeez.
Charlotte just turned 39. Seth will be 39 next month. Roman will be 40 next month. And Punk is 46, and his birthday is in October. So yeah, I should have been like maybe like keeping like an average and everything there. And Paul Heyman, believe it or not, is only 59.
Huh.
crazy, right?
Well, because of how long he's been in the business and everything, and also the fact that, with his girth, he looks older. I also did not realize that Paul Heyman was born on September 11th.
Yes.
He's one of those. He's one of those unlucky people.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that means he was in his mid 30s during his when he was Paulie dangerously.
hmm
Yep.
Even really, even actually, just like his early
Oh,
30s.
I was about to say that.
I was gonna say like,
I wasn't mathing correctly.
yeah, I know he was first in JCP around like I think 88 at very
Which
least.
JCP?
Jim Crockett Promotions.
Ah,
I think it was still Jim Crockett Promotions at that point. I don't think
I
they
think it was,
sold
yeah.
to Turner yet.
gonna do old school?
Looks like it. Oh,
Oh shit. Well, Joe, you catch that
Yep, he just went through the tables right
yet?
now for me.
Yeah.
okay. The triple threat match went 14:25 according to Wikipedia.
Well,
So not quite as long as last night's opener for what that's worth.
But I think Wade Barrett, it was said earlier, it was a spot fest because that's pretty much what it was from what like I said, when I walked by a few times.
They kept it going. Like there weren't like really down periods, and there weren't parts where you were noticing that like one of them wasn't involved, which I think is
yeah.
what you really need to try to do in a triple threat match. Because that's why I kind of get bothered by triple threat matches because there's so often long periods of time where one of them is like, oh, she's getting her 2 minutes of rest right now, but they didn't really feel like there was stuff like that in that match. So I could appreciate that part of it.
It's one of those things too where like, you know,
Oh shit.
when we talk about, people's ages and who needs to put who over and all that stuff,
Oh,
I'm seeing it now. Oh God. Oh God.
That's one of those spots that I think looks a
it,
lot worse than
well,
it
yeah.
actually is.
Mhm.
McIntyre
It
wins.
still looks effective.
It's kind of like when Maven was on the Undertaker podcast and they were talking about the chair shot to the throat, and he's like, didn't even touch him in the throat, but it looked devastating.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, obviously that's what all wrestling is. Duh.
that
that's what
definitely
it's
is
supposed to be.
devastating. Probably
Yeah.
more than it was. But like going back to the aging, that's kind of like well, we've Shane, me and Pat kind of talked about this before in the past. Like, you know, when older wrestlers need to start putting over younger talent, but unfortunately in WWE, there's not a lot of younger talent to be putting over.
Exactly.
So like everyone's at around or about the same age. So it's kind of like a crapshoot. Like it's really storyline driven now, where whatever makes best for the story. So if this guy, if it's better for this dude who's 47 to win compared to someone who's 39, then so be it. Um,
Yeah. I
yeah, it's just a
mean,
different dynamic
the
in
one match where
WWE.
we did have a, I guess you could say, profound age difference, last night was Tiffany Charlotte, and Charlotte
Mhm.
actually did the right thing, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing too. When you talk about people putting others over, you know, sometimes I feel like, it could be the other wrestler or the other opponent, and like, challenger saying, okay, let's put Tiffy over for X, Y, and Z. But a lot of times I still think it's more on creative to be like, this is what we want to do. Here's A and B, or here's A and C, and this is what we're going to do from A to C. And in B, you guys used to have to figure out what you're going to do for B. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's all up to the wrestlers, like who's putting who over, who's winning. I still
Well,
think
yeah,
70% of it lands on creative to tell the ladies or the men, hey, here's A, here's C. This is the person who's going to win. You guys fill in the blank. You guys decide what B is going to be to get to C.
yeah. I
So,
mean,
and that's where you have people who maybe like might not like the outcome or whatever the case may be, and might, I'm not saying politic. I still think there's politics to a certain extent, but I don't think it's as bad as it used to be back in the day. Because I just don't Triple H is going to deal with that shit. To be honest with you,
well, yeah, I was gonna say,
um,
I think it depends upon what company we're talking about too, because Tony Khan can deny it all he wants. It's pretty obvious that there are certain people in that company who have a pretty profound say over what they do. You know,
I know Triple H gives the men and women, very a lot of freedom, but there's always some type of compromise to, all right, does this make sense? Where are we going with this? Like they seem to know where they want to go 3 or 4 months from now, after the results of C, who's winning and stuff like that. So I just think it's a different era under Triple H.
I mean,
Oh,
it should be too, because like I think I mentioned it last night, Cena, in that Nexus match at that SummerSlam 2010, I think, like Edge and Jericho were mad that Cena like supposedly convinced Vince, oh no, I should go over in that match, not them, and
mhm.
made like a 3-on-1 comeback or something like that. So yeah.
I mean, listen, Cena's not even the one who thought about going to heel. It was Triple H who thought of it and pitched it to Cena, and okay, you know what I mean?
Well, yes and no. Like the story that I saw was that Rock legitimately wanted Cody to turn heel. Rock was pushing for
Huh.
Cody to turn heel, and Cody said no, which was the right choice in my view. And then they went into John and said, "Hey, you want to turn heel?" And Cena was like, "All right."
Well,
You
maybe
know,
the Rock stuff. I don't know. I'm not.
see, that's the
It's
thing,
weird with the
because
Rock stuff.
again,
I'm not sure how legit it is. I believe what Triple H is saying about doing something different for
I
Cena's
mean,
I can
his
I can
final run.
believe I can believe
DC. I love Daniel. I
I
love
can
DC.
definitely believe. Fuck you. I
I
can
like DC.
I can definitely believe Rock
Tony
trying to
Hinchcliffe. That guy's a
trying
douche.
trying to throw his weight around, because I truly believe that he thinks that being on the board of directors means that he has a say in the day-to-day operations of the company, which he really doesn't. All somebody that's on the board really does is get to vote on who the CEO is.
Pretty much.
But that also means then you were saying, okay, this is the guy I'm voting for to be CEO, so that's the person I'm trusting to run the company without my input necessarily. You know.
So speaking of Triple H, there's a guy in my office whose last name is Levesque. I kid you
oh,
now.
I
Levis Q.
I think it's spelled the same way too. He's a software guy. I forget. I
Leves.
forget his first name, but he's in my office. I believe this
Taylor.
is. It might be.
Taylor.
So you have. I'd have to look in Slack to see if it's
Do you
him.
not hear me?
Yeah, you said Taylor, right?
Yeah, Taylor.
Does it say he's in the NC office?
Um,
Is his profile?
he's operations analyst. Um,
He probably is.
it doesn't say.
I'll check tomorrow, but I think it is Taylor.
But by the way, Joe, just as a sidebar, because you're sitting here, I'm like trying to like go through shit that's been like sitting around, figuring out what can be thrown away and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I've got like 4 of these things now because that's about how many times I've had to replace my headphones.
Oh my God.
Because all I ever do is just take the case with the headphones back in and say, yeah, like, I broke them. I've got the plan. Let me just swap them out.
That's funny.
I've got all these little cables with like the different, like, sized, ear pods and everything for these Bose headphones I have. Anyway, so Drew beating Priest went 13:55, claimeth Wikipedia. Going back to the ages real quick. Oh, I said, Priest is going to be, or McIntyre is going to be 40 this year, and Priest is 42. His birthday is in September. The match that we got coming up, Braun is young. He's only 27.
Dom's in his 20s.
And his birthday is in October. Penta is 40. Balor, I know, I'm pretty sure is in his 40s. Yeah, Balor's
Yeah.
40. Balor's 43. He's gonna be 44 in July.
That's insane.
Yeah, and Dom is just turned 28. So yeah, so Dom's one of the young guys that
You got
should
two
be there.
20-year-olds and two 40-year-olds in this match.
Yeah. AJ is 47. He'll be 48 in early June.
Yeah, he's born the same year as me.
Yeah, Logan Paul just
He's a Gemini as me as well.
Logan
Go
Paul
figure.
just turned 30. If I still don't know if we're really considering him a full-time wrestler though.
No, fuck Logan Paul.
He's what?
He just turned 30.
Damn.
Liv is 30. She will be 31 in June. So she's still one of the younger ones we've
Perfect.
mentioned. Yeah. Raquel turned 34 in January, which again, that's actually one of the younger ages we've gotten so far. Lyra Valkyria is only 28. Her birthday's in October. Orton, of course, is on the older side. He just turned 45. Cena, of course, is also on the older side. He'll be 48 on Wednesday, but of course, we know he's retiring, or so he says. And Cody is going to be 40 in June as well. So,
yeah. I'm looking forward to this four-way for
I think this could be good. Yeah.
These are
Apparently,
gonna
they
be,
pay extra for that.
hey, I'll pay extra for anything at this point anymore.
Now,
I'm not shy.
Not trying to get like in like the in the weeds here with the NXT roster, but I just want to highlight a few people. Roxanne, like we said, she's only 23.
Mm-hmm.
Her birthday's not until November.
Yeah, she's young.
Just because they're, fairly prominent guys who just came over from AEW. Ricky Saints, he's actually 35. And Ethan Page is also 35, will be 36 later this year. So,
mid-30s, but still young.
Yeah. And then the people who were in the main NXT title matches yesterday. So the women, the 4-way for the NXT women's title, Stephanie Vaquer is
awesome.
Just turned 32. Julia just turned 31. Jada Parker is only 26.
I'm actually going to be so mad.
And Jordan Grace is actually only 29. For some reason, I thought Jordan Grace would be older, but.
Still on the younger side,
and you're right, Joe. Remember when I was asking about the guy who just debuted in AEW? And I was like, was that the guy that had like that big, blow up with TNA? No, you're right. That's Jonathan Gresham, who Jordan Grace is married to.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, no, that was Grace's husband.
Yeah. And then the guys in the triple threat for the NXT title from last night, Obafemi is about to turn 27. Javon Evans is about to turn 21.
Wow, he's
He's
a young
ridiculously
guy.
young. And Trick Williams will be 31 next month.
Took some more on the older side for the NXT roster, but still
Yeah.
young.
There's
Wow,
one of
Evans is
there's
21. Wow, holy shit.
oh, and just because I know they're the tag champions, Nathan Frazier is 26. He'll be 27 in July. And Axiom is going to be 28 next month. So they're on the younger side too.
Oh, look, it's Parker Jr.
Hey,
One for me and one for my homies.
that's Mr.
Seriously,
Cero
that
Romero
was
for
that
you.
was that was seriously one of the best things, and one of the precious few things that was entertaining as hell in like late 99 early 2000 WCW was
Laparca.
Laparca coming out and pretending to talk on the mic, and it was like fucking Ed Ferrara who was like doing the voiceovers, and like, after a while, of course, he's saying like, "I'm gonna kick your ass, you stupid," and Laparca's trying to, we going, and then he's like coming out holding signs like, "That's not me" or something.
Yeah, that was fun stuff. That was like the old school, like Japanese dub shit. It was awesome.
Yeah,
It was like such a delay.
but
It's great.
unfortunately, when they did the reset and they did the Millionaires Club versus the New Blood thing, it was done. And I'm not actually even sure if Laparca ever appeared on WCW TV again, or at least not Nitro or Thunder, after they did the Millionaires Club New Blood shit. So
I'm gonna say probably not because I don't fucking remember.
I don't either, but you also have to remember I pretty much stopped watching WCW cold after Bash at the Beach.
I
Very rarely did I ever turn it back on again until the final Nitro. So that'll actually be one of the things that I'm interested to see as that Reliving the War series enters its final months here, because they're just about at Bash at the Beach. I'm like, can I see if there was something that WCW could have legitimately built on had Bischoff been able to buy the company as he was intending? Like, did they have enough foundational pieces to, I think he was giving up the concept of trying to like do anything that was going to like challenge WWF anytime in the short term.
No, he wouldn't have been able to. He would have had a I will say this, Pat. I still watched it, not as much after that, but I still did watch it. And it's one of those things where I think there was a handful of talent, but
He could get off.
he definitely would have had to reach out to others to sign others to help out for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they still had some veteran guys, but some of those veteran guys had been off TV for a while. Like I remember Sting came back for the final Nitro, but I think he had been off TV. I think they did another Nash was forced to retire thing. You still had like Steiner and Jarrett and Bagwell and um well, no, not Sid, because that's when Sid fucked up his leg. Um shit, who was it? Oh, Booker T. I think Page was still around. And then of course that's when they were starting to do like, they had like the Natural Born Thrillers guys. They still had Mysterio and Chavo and Kidman.
Yeah.
They had Lance Storm and Mike Awesome. So it was like I think they could have built something. Like I think Bischoff had said that his ideas were to be like they weren't even gonna like tour. They were gonna like
A centralized place.
to try to keep costs down. They were gonna like run out of Vegas for a while.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that would have been a challenge depending upon how big of a place they tried to fill. Because remember, like early TNA when they were running out of that one place in Memphis or whatever it was, all those times. It's like, how do you convince same people to come back week after week? I mean, that was a
Yeah.
territory thing.
Yeah. No, I understand.
But
What is Jeremy saying?
but
Penta,
yeah,
three finger.
it's like who else could they have like um they might have brought in Road Dogg because he had been fired by WWF, and I think he was even like he might have even been backstage at the final Nitro. I think I read. And again, his shtick was kind of worn thin by that point, but he might have been a guy that could have just helped elevate people, and
Yeah, 100%. I think he had a decent foundation. It was
yeah.
just he would have had to add pieces here and there, to be honest.
Well, here's an intriguing what if too, related to the whole um if they had kept going and everything. AJ Styles made some appearances on some of the WCW like C shows towards the end of WCW.
Yeah, he
What
did.
if he had stuck around when they when they reset and everything, and maybe they saw that they had something to him and pushed him, because I think Bischoff even says that he wanted to do like a recommitment to the cruiserweights, and obviously he would have been prime right there.
Yeah. If you were able to, if AJ was doing those C shows, he would have been able to get AJ. That would have been golden for him.
I sent you a
But
message in your chat correcting your statement on the NXT tag champs.
well, if you didn't watch it, you didn't know the results. It's fine.
No, I was look I yeah, I was looking at the page, and yes, I now do see that Fraxine lost to Hank and Tank.
That was such a name, Hank and Tank.
Well, you know how important Hank is so far. He doesn't even have a Wikipedia page.
Classic. No Wikipedia page for Hank yet.
And on Tank's Wikipedia page, it does not say how old he is, but he can't be much older than he can't be any older than late 20s because he played college football at Northwestern from 2017 to 2021.
Oh yeah, he's in his mid-20s then.
Yeah. How dare AJ try to correct me?
Anytime he can. What is
They're,
Oh
they're they're
yeah, the
talking about the whole thing
patches.
with the tops cards. Yeah, because this is the big thing with tops, not these patch cards.
Mhm. It's weird, like it seems like Topps is kind of having a resurgence within the card industry because it's with between football and now WWE, like they've been like pushing all these specialty cards and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
I've stopped paying attention to card stuff for a long time now, but it's like,
they actually have
I
there's a
still have all my old Dave Winfield cards, and like just like seeing like the tops designs from the 70s and the 80s compared to what they've been over the last few years is fairly entertaining.
it is. I will say there's a couple places around by me for cards. One's called Cardiac Collectibles, I think it is. And they do like when new boxes come out, like the top stuff and whatnot, they have like openings and all that jazz. Card pack openings to see if you could pull one of the special cards, special autograph cards and all that stuff that they're doing now. Um they've been really kind of pushing that stuff.
Yeah. Um,
And they begin celebrities to do it. Like Tom Brady went to one and he pulled an autographed Caleb Williams card and then FaceTimed them saying that I pulled your card from a
I
Topps pack opening.
I know they showed somebody in WWE. I think it was Cody doing that, where he pulled like a one of one card. It might have even been his own, which of course also made me go, "That's got to be a setup."
I don't remember if it was Owen, it was somebody else's though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody's done it. Seth Rollins has done it. Oh, did you see the Seth Rollins video? The shit's hilarious. It was a
No.
Hall of Famer card. He pulled it and he goes, "Oh." He goes, "Ooh, a Hall of Fame card." And he looks at it, he goes, "Oh." And there's a black guy sitting next to him, like doing like the thing. He's like, "Who is it?" He goes, "It's only Hulk Hogan." And what's wrong with that? He goes, "I'm excited about it." And so I saw Hogan. And I'm like, well, we know how Hogan is. And the black guy's like, "Yeah, we know he doesn't like our people." And then like Seth, like it did click in his head at first. And he starts laughing. He's like, "Well, I'm just telling the truth."
Seth just made interesting comments about Hogan, where he was like, Hogan's always been good to me and everything, but yeah, I can't really ever see myself wanting to spend time with him. So,
No,
which is
valid.
probably the most diplomatic answer you can really give.
Yes.
You know,
Give him his praise for what he's done in the industry, but
which is what he
outside of that,
did. Yeah.
but other than that, yeah,
I mean,
everything
think about
else.
it. Think about it. It's no different than like any other walk of life, really. Some of the people who were like some of the most important people in a specific industry are also pretty horrible people. That's not something that's exclusive to pro wrestling by any means. And Hulk
No,
Hogan is obviously also not the only person in pro wrestling who's like that. And I'm not
no.
even talking about getting into like Chris Benoit or something like that. I'm talking about, obviously Vince, but there's plenty of other stories,
I mean, and look, like the Triple H brought Vince up like at the very end. He's like,
Yeah, you
He's
kind of almost wish he had just, not bothered, but at the same time, I understand why he would. I mean, he is still the
and
guy's father-in-law. He's probably still got contact with him to some degree, I would expect.
yeah, I mean, he's like, he's the father of my wife. He's the grandfather of my kids. He's done a
Yeah.
lot for me in the business. He goes, he's like, I love you, Vince, but then he's like, it's complicated.
I mean, it
And I mean, it
is.
is. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
And again, it's like I still don't know how much to believe about about Triple H or Stephanie or Shane knowing how much and Linda too, though of course Linda's on my shit list, obviously. Um, but
I don't think a
it's
lot
like
of them,
I don't think Triple H, Stephanie or Shane were involved in any kind of like cover-ups. It might have been that they knew that he was fucking around, but
yeah, and know
if
like
he
what the
if all they
exactly extent of that fucking around
if
was. I
all
don't
they
think they knew.
if all they think is that he's fucking around, that I mean that's kind of his business, unfortunately. It's not theirs in a lot of
Yeah,
ways. Now, obviously, I'm sure it sucks for Shane and Stephanie, especially, to be like, oh yeah, my septuagenarian father is cheating on his wife, for Christ's sake.
yeah,
Um, because never heard about any issues in Shane or Stephanie's marriages, so and good for
no,
them.
yes,
Um,
100%,
but yeah, so
100%.
I mean, but it's like, yeah, you look at business throughout the years, like every big business tycoon or baron has done horrible things at some point, in building their empires, which is, usually taking advantage of the peons, of course, but there's all kinds of people in sports who are shitty characters, shitty people, just music and movies, it just human beings are fallible, I think. Yeah, pretty sure. So, human beings are unfortunately going to do shitty things.
Yeah, yes, they are.
Penta did not look like
It's
he came down with full force on that
No.
stand
it's
kick.
inevitable.
Um, did we talk about who we think is going to win this one?
We did earlier. I said I think Dom's going to come out with the win, and Braun will not be the one to take the loss. Like I think there's going to be some kind of fuckery to a certain extent involving Dom and Finn here. So,
Yeah, I think that's going to play out at some point.
oh boy. Ugh.
I wonder, you know what? I don't look at the odds for these. I know AJ does. I forgot to ask if there was any odds of who Orton's opponent is going to be for this evening.
Yeah, I would have actually been curious about that. I'm still thinking it's Aleister Black, though I hope it's Rusev.
I prefer Rusev, to be honest.
I've just never been there with Aleister Black, Malachi Black. Just never.
Like, at one point, do you sit there and realize not to try to spear someone when they're in the corner there? Like, anywhere but the corner.
I was gonna say, did he just do like the Eddie thing and the cameras missed it, but the crowd responded to it?
Yeah.
Oh, and now Carlitos appeared at ringside. He just came walking out all of a sudden.
Was still with his apple.
Got that apple spitting back in his face on Friday. By our truth.
Indeed.
Well, here's that fuckery you were talking about. Carlito's totally going to cause this.
I haven't seen anything yet. Balor and Dom are working together to suplex Braun right now. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Oh, question, of course, becomes how soon until Braun's cousin is in NXT?
True.
I mean, a couple more years, I guess, because I know he's still determined to finish his college career, which is the smart thing, frankly. So,
Let's get the new iteration of the Steiner brothers. Yeah.
I mean, that would be interesting. Like, if assuming Scott's son does decide to train, and I'm sure NXT will take him, and let's assume he makes it. Yeah, do they at some point bring him up to the main roster and pair him with his cousin, and then do they change Braun's name to Braun Steiner? And
Yeah, I don't think they'll change his name to that, but it's the thing too was like I know like Braun's grown on me. His mic skills are still iffy at times, but
well, did you see his Steiner math promo?
I saw that.
yes, I did.
It wasn't quite as fluid. But and obviously he was modifying it, of course, but so
He's good in the ring. Like he's a worker. Um, and people are behind him.
Well,
what do you mean you're trying to do this to me? I'm Irish. I do this shit to you. I'm the IRA guy.
Nah, oh, it's funny.
I think the referee had to ever so slightly slow his count there to make sure Breaker got the break.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
yep.
Just ever so slightly. It wasn't like one of those times like where we've seen it's happened a couple times in AEW's history where the referee literally stops counting because he knows that's not what's supposed to happen. I'm gonna say, don't go sticking your tongue out in his face there, Penta. He might bite it off.
Oh, 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 oh. I heard my dog like growling or something with one of his toys. I was wondering where the hell he was at.
No, that was Braun Breaker.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Arr, arr, arr. I somewhat live vicariously through other people's dogs on the internet these days. Unfortunately, one of my favorite internet dogs passed away a couple months ago.
Well, that sucks.
Do you know who Norbert was?
Mhm.
Yeah, he passed away at just about 16, I think. So
Okay.
yeah, it was very sad. I love watching videos and seeing pictures of him.
So is this a no DQ?
Well, it's a fatal four way, so I think by definition it is.
Yes.
Carlito, you'd be a little more careful with the way he's throwing the top of the table there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that could have hit. Like I don't know how much it would have hurt or caused damage or shit, but it's like you hit somebody, then you're gonna.
That wasn't bad.
But the third match of the night is when the main announce team loses their table. Unless these are easy to reassemble, I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have them stand for the next 3 hours, two and a
I
half.
can't imagine they would, but
I would hope not.
They can kick the Spanish announce people out, team out.
well, it's one of the funniest things I remember when Paul Heyman was on commentary back in 2001 during that period when Lawler had walked out of the company. I don't remember who was wrestling, but there was some match going on where they were fighting close to their table and everything, and Heyman just shouts out like, "Oh, that wasn't a great spear." Heyman shouts out, "What are you doing fighting around our table? We're not Spanish. We don't speak Spanish."
I think I remember that.
Now today, somebody would probably think that he was making some kind of like racial statement. It's like, no, he's just referring to the fact that the Spanish announce table always gets destroyed.
Right.
Pretty much.
Again, this match, it's I wouldn't say it's necessarily been a spot fest, but it's kept moving, so that's been good. Like, there hasn't been like a lot of time for you to stop and think, oh, Penta's not involved right now.
Right, right. I still want to know how he does that. That is so
Yep. I would have won a lot of money on this one.
wow.
Like I said, Dom Pin Finn.
Wow.
George Kittle's there.
Well, he was there last night, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I think we were in the middle of a conversation when I saw him.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Dom Dom to win. No, we had one title change so far tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that move is so crazy to watch.
Yeah.
He does it so fluently too.
Yeah. Maddox is here, but he doesn't go on camera.
Spear, what happened?
I said Maddox is here, but he doesn't go on camera.
Oh, tell him to suck it up.
Oh, this replay is brought to you by Dude Wipes.
So I guess I asked AJ, was Dom favored to win that match? And he's like, so far the odds have been right for every match. And I'm like, well, I guess that's a yes. That was a good match too. Like seriously, like these matches that it was this the fourth match of the night have definitely surpassed
Well, okay.
match
I
quality
was thinking
from
that too.
night one.
Here's what I'm going to say too. I will be very, very interested to see what star rating Meltzer gives that match. And I think you know why I'm saying that, Joe.
Yep.
Because if that was an AEW match, that would be at least 4.5 stars. And I expect he will not give it that high rating.
It's interesting they came back into the ring.
Well, the fact that Finn was still kind of on the ramp too, and he just ran past Finn, it's kind of more kind of sticking it into Finn. So I'm sure there'll be some
Yeah.
friction there tomorrow night.
Fair.
These commercials. You're confused. Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, these matches have definitely been very good tonight. 100%. Oh, the fountain. I was there before.
Me too.
Those new places like that are so cool with the screens.
Yeah.
The stars are out. I'm sorry. I don't know who any fucking UFC fighters are, nor do I give a rat's ass.
Yeah. Colby Covington. What's up the chick behind him with the Mama Tried t-shirt on?
Metro.
Apparently Maddox knows who this guy is.
Yeah,
he
they're
on-
all the weird new trendy rappers who I have no idea who the fuck any of them are. Honestly, no offense, I just don't know.
Okay, that's just terrible.
That's
Oh.
wrong. They just called him Stabler from Law and Order. That's not him.
They said he's Stabler's brother, which is what.
Oh, okay.
But what I just loved is he's like, we just something about like him returning to his iconic role as Stabler's brother. He just started doing that last year.
I know, it's funny, right? The
I mean, like
roast.
they introduced him in last year. Now he's like a full-time cast member, I guess, because he's in the opening credits now. But hey, at least they did some cross promotion
Oh,
for
never
something
mind.
else that's on Peacock at least, because the Stabler show, as I call it, is only on Peacock this year.
I wonder if they coordinated their outfits for tonight.
Sure they did.
I think to a certain extent they did. They probably were like, we want to dress you guys in like black and white with variations or whatever. So you're not
Wade's like, white? You want me to put white on? I'm not wearing that. I'm being all black. I'm
yeah,
the
Barrett's
heel,
like,
all black, brother.
yeah, you were exactly. Barrett's like, I'm the heel. I'm just gonna wear all black.
I love Pat's fucking boots. Like his dress
Yeah.
cowboy boots are just fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Is this next?
Oh, so we're doing the mystery opponent?
I mean, it makes sense to do that now, middle of the show, pretty much.
Right.
Because we're getting two mystery opponents, so it's like
Right.
we're getting two mystery opponents in the next 3 matches.
All right. And we're thinking Aleister Black or Rusev.
I think those are the most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else would feel slightly disappointing.
It's gonna be John Moxley.
Maddox
No
says it's gonna
way
be
in
John
God's
Moxley.
green earth is that happening.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I can hear you. Why don't you just come say hi?
it would be hilarious, but we know that's not going to happen.
It
It
would
would
be hilarious.
it would be hilarious from the aspect because he's AEW's world champion right now, and all of a sudden he just
Oh.
shows back up on WrestleMania. Tony Khan would probably be in fear for his life.
I'm gonna say Cena is definitely winning tonight.
I really can't see how he doesn't win.
Yeah.
Right. I concur.
It's just going to I think the odds should be like, does The Rock show up? Doesn't he show up? Does somebody else turn heel to help Cena win as well? Like who's I want to know if Stone Cold's going to get involved in the match.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's like, you're talking about like, Rollins and everything. I mean, it's pretty obvious they're not going to go that route right now because
No, because they had the whole Heyman thing going on with
right,
that.
that's what I
So
mean. They've paired him with Heyman for the time being. So
I mean, there's it. Jey Uso was another one that you could kind of think might do that as well because Jimmy's still dressing all in black as well. Maybe Jimmy comes down. Maybe it's not Jay. Maybe it's Jimmy. But who knows? We haven't distinguished what Jimmy's really doing per se, besides doing some singles matches. Like, who is he affiliated with, if anybody? I think they're going to keep Jay a face for a while, I guess, now after that win. So
I
you
mean,
never know.
you don't give a guy an emotional title win like that and then turn him heel.
No. But, Jimmy's an option to show up and kind of align with The Rock, too. Who knows? I guess we'll just, there's so many scenarios. You know what I mean? So many scenarios to do stuff.
Scenario.
Jeremy gonna join us?
Yeah, at some point he's out with some Easter family stuff right now.
He
I think
did
he's at his
say,
parents' house.
he did say he thought around 9-ish, so he could show up by the end of this next match.
Hello.
So AJ said there's no odds for an opponent for Orton. He likes looking at the odds stuff to see if it matches up, if they actually win or not.
Yeah, he tells me about the odds a lot, and it's like, okay. No, what I mean is like I don't care because I don't bet, but I mean it is interesting to think who they think is going to win,
Yeah.
And it does seem like they more often than not they're right. So
Yeah. Usually 95% of the time they're right.
Right, which kind of makes the whole thing about betting on something where the outcome is predetermined but unknown to the majority of people is still a bit of a folly.
It's like, how do you know? How can these odds be right all the time?
All right. Well, we're about to find out now.
I love how the caption says voices by Jim Johnston plays. Yes, one of the few Jim Johnston themes still in use.
Yeah.
Shit, might even be the only one.
That's a good question. I don't even know. Nothing special or just something normal. It's coming out.
This is another WrestleMania match.
He's like, yeah, piece of cake. If it's something that's not Aleister Black or Rusev, and it's something like way outside left field, I will be surprised.
Maybe it'll be Jimmy Uso. Maybe it'll be some NXT person. Maybe it will be Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be Batista. No, that's
Maybe McAfee.
oh
Oh God, no. Don't do that.
They're so loud.
I am curious as to how much longer Randy plans to do this,
Oh, so last night it was the max whatever thing they were doing. Now tonight they're doing decibels. So they
Mhm.
listened, they heard me. They heard me talk about 2 decibels instead. So
Well,
thank you.
if you want to believe that decibel thing too, which I don't know that I do.
100
I think it's
billion
probably
million decibels.
semi-accurate. That Macho Man's small as shit, man. That motherfucker's short. He looks like he's 5'2".
In your book, A Better Britain for Us, you promised to build 100 million billion houses in the Greater London area every year. In fact, you've only built 3 in the last 15 years.
A sign that says high adrenaline. Adeline. Oh God, I can't even read. It says high Adeline. Ah, I thought it said adrenaline. Silly me. Hey,
Now I
Shane, we should be able to get Shift 4 suites for this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure they already gave them away. I can probably see that suite right now.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Should get perks for big events like this. God damn it.
Oh, did I? Let me see if I still have it. I think I sent it to you. I want to try to get this in before. Or no, you told me about it, and I grabbed the screenshot of it.
Oh, what?
Trout catching a fly ball in front of
Oh, the Shift 4.
the shift floor.
The Shift 4 I don't know, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
It's
All
just
right.
it's just kind of like I know we're in a lot of stadiums and whatnot, but to
Mhm.
actually see like our sign on
Right.
the outfield wall or somewhere is just it's interesting to be honest.
Yeah.
It's interesting how far we've come with the company too. So
Yeah. Me
that's
being
another
there
thing.
significantly longer than you, and then me training you. We don't have to go into that, but
Oh yeah, for a couple weeks.
All right. I gotta hear who this is.
Rusev and Lana. You guys are ahead of me, so don't spoil it.
Oh my God. Did not see that
Oh
coming.
wow. I did not see that coming either.
apologies if I'm not exactly thrilled with this. I don't get this guy, so
I love this guy. I love Joe Henry.
Maddox, what are your thoughts? Interesting. Okay.
I don't know why I didn't consider.
Wow.
I to be
Well,
honest.
they do have the partnership with TNA too, but
Right, that's why
it's
I don't know
not.
why I didn't really consider it. Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't even consider it either. Wow.
But I mean, like,
And WrestleMania merch for him too.
If he loses, though, that just makes DNA look worse again. I don't know. I mean, is Orton willing to do the job on this one? I really don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I I like Joe Henry, but he's an acquired taste for a lot of people, which I do get, so I understand that. But at the same time, he makes me laugh.
Yeah, doesn't he make personalized promos for not
Yes,
promos, but
songs.
personalized entrance music or whatever for whoever he is going
Yeah,
against?
he creates like a song for them. It's weird though, because when he was at NXT a couple times, like they weren't great. So kind of
Mhm.
left like a lot of people are like, this guy's good. He actually is. But you watch the TNA product, which I still do. He has some good stuff on there.
Oh, and just because, I said
We'll
about
see
him.
how long this match goes. I don't expect Joe Henry to win. Of course, he's
Yeah.
wrestling Orton. You know what I mean? But
Oh,
hey,
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I keep interrupting.
You're
no,
good. I was gonna say, what if he just RKO's him right off the bat and it's over?
Well, anyway,
a squash match.
what I was just gonna say is like, because I've been saying about everybody else who's appeared, so far their age. Joe Hendry is about to turn 37.
Yeah, he's been wrestling for a while, but he's just got on the main stage per se.
Yes.
He's a good wrestler too.
Isn't his finisher like a one arm choke slam or something?
Yeah, he has a couple.
Good man.
I think it's the one he mainly uses now. He has like another one too.
Hmm.
This will be fun. We'll see how this
Yep.
goes.
He's run championships around the world, just not any world I've ever been a part of. As a reference to a Key and Peele sketch.
Mm. Oh, yeah, the chef one.
The Hell's Kitchen
That one's so
parody.
good.
You should be cooking at the finest restaurants in the world, just not any world I want to live in. The best thing about that, though, too, is not so much, Key doing like a Gordon Ramsay type voice or everything, is the way that like whenever like his like comment changes, the music
The
usually
cha-
like the bright uplifting music to the like the like the depressive negative music and
Yeah.
everything, because that's what all of Gordon Ramsay's shows
It's
on
just
Fox
yeah.
are like. And it's especially funny if you ever watched his versions of Kitchen Nightmares, especially you compare the American ones to the British ones he did.
Mhm.
The British ones don't have all that shit, and they're much more easy to to kind of just let those things going on tell the story instead of like being manipulated by music and shit.
Right. Vintage Orton.
I like to try to do the choke slam when he pokes him in the face. Like, what are you doing, kid?
What are you doing? You think you're gonna get away with doing that to me? I'm Randy Orton, speaking like a Beatle for
Yeah, I was
some.
gonna say, what is
What
that
are you
George?
doing?
I could this could be any of them, but I guess this does sound more like George than any. Well, maybe a little Paul too. I don't know.
It's a little Ringo in there. Richard.
Richard Starkey.
Mhm.
A lot of interesting stuff going on with his son.
We don't have to get
Oh,
into
look
that.
how quick they got that announce table back
No, it was
together.
just weird. Yeah, there was like a story the other day saying that the Who weren't gonna use him as their drummer anymore. Then a couple days later, it's like, oh no, everything's cool now. It was like I don't know what the hell happened. I don't even know how much longer the Who can even really do it because I think Roger Daltrey said that he's going deaf or something.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Yeah, I mean they're in their 80s now for Christ's sake. So
Also, yes.
also yes.
That's great. They
That's
did that.
awesome.
He RKO'd him.
They did the what they did with Logan Paul last year, or the elimination chamber, where they zoom in on his face just to zoom out for the RKO.
I don't know where.
That was so good.
Well, I don't mean to be that guy. Yes, I do. That was kind of a waste of time when you come right down to it.
Nah, they still needed an opponent for, and
You did, because again, the way that his match got canceled was obviously not anybody's fault, but it's like, I again, it's like it really feels like the partnership between WWE and TNA has been fairly one-sided so far.
here's the thing. It doesn't matter if Joe Henry loses that match because all
Right.
it does is gets eyes on him as a competitor
And
gets
TNA.
more and
But
TNA.
but if you had like never really seen him before, I don't really think there was anything that you would have seen in this match that made you go, "Oh, I need to go watch this guy now."
Fair. Except a
Yeah.
fall away slam. What is
But
happening?
it's given them opportunities that they wouldn't have before, and that's the main thing.
I know Orton's going to RKO him here again.
Probably. I was actually thinking the same thing.
Since the RKO in so many ways was like the 2000 and 2010s version of the stunner,
Yeah.
Waiting for that stunner to happen again.
Yeah.
There it is.
RKO.
Oh, and yes, I did just see they rebuilt the announce table. So
Yeah.
Or they wheeled another one out, whatever they did.
I would imagine it's easier just to rebuild the thing, if assuming it can be easily enough, than having to wheel one out. But
Yeah, I guess they can be glad that they don't get their announce samples from IKEA.
I believe in Randy Orton.
that IKEA is not going to assemble itself. Randy's just having a big old time, ain't
Hey, you got to have some fun. You know what I mean?
he? The Fatal 4-Way Intercontinental title match went 10 minutes 30 seconds, according to Wikipedia. The match we just saw went 3 minutes 10.
It's all good.
We need to see heel before he retires, though.
Yeah, he's going to have to turn heel again at some point. I mean, it's like they do still seem to be struggling for heels right now in a lot of ways, but
Uh-oh.
I don't know. They just want to cheer Orton so badly again right now. It's like,
Yeah. His blew a kiss to the crowd. Last WrestleMania?
I doubt it. Unless like his injury history is starting to catch up with him.
Yeah.
'Cause again, he was out there for a long time with that back problem. So
Right. Did you see Matt Riddle walking through one of the hotels all they said he was drunk, but he didn't seem
He didn't look drunk. He was just
right.
barefoot, like normal.
I mean, yeah. Look at this guy. He's barefoot. I mean, hepatitis is a real thing, but
yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't. I can never walk around barefoot in public anywhere. I mean, it just shit. I'd be afraid to go to the beach anymore because the way my feet look and everything. So
well, just don't go to any Jersey beaches.
ain't that the truth?
They can get dirty and infected. That's what I'm talking
I've only ever
about.
been to a beach in Jersey, I think like once.
Then you live to
Really?
tell about it. That's
Yeah.
a plus.
Yeah, so it was when I was a senior in high school, so that was 26 years ago.
Geez, WWE is acquiring more people than or more businesses than Shift 4.
I don't know about that. Yo, did you see that? Global Payments purchase WorldPay.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not-
huge.
yeah, I'm not high up enough to know or care how much that affects us, but that's a conversation we can have at a later time.
Yeah, it's kind of big, to be honest.
Oh, apparently this is a banger. Is that
Oh, no.
is that what you kids call it?
Oh, that's the word they use. It's a cool match. It's a banger. Something that's cool is a banger.
The Travis Scott theme, theme.
Yeah. It's like fire song.
It's a fire song.
I'm
And
sure it
Pat
is
just
for
called it a
that.
banger.
I'm sure it is for the young generation.
Yeah.
You want to know what a banger is? Oh, listen to 90s gangster rap. That's a banger.
More than a feeling.
Why is Travis? Why is Jay here?
More than a feeling.
Is that T Breezy?
Song.
Pretty sure it's Tyler Breeze.
That was not
Hey,
Tyler
Boozy.
Breeze.
I don't
That
know
was
who these
Tyler.
motherfuckers are, these rappers anymore.
Yeah.
And I think you're dreaming. And I hear Marianne walk away.
The
that-
little one.
That match is happening tonight?
Yes.
Oh.
When
Oh,
else
ha,
was
ha,
it?
ha.
When else was it going to happen?
Okay, yeah, Maddox. I was like, no, it's happening tomorrow. Yeah, you guys are jerks. Ooh,
I'm
that
afraid
looks
Logan
good.
Paul's going to win this match, and I do
Screw
not want
you,
him to win.
hippies.
I really don't.
Let me tell you what, as much as he said that he really does not want to do that jump on the rope backflip again, that was pretty good.
It was.
I'm interested to see what he's going to pull out this time. I'm assuming he's probably going to try to steal the Styles Clash.
He's gonna
Of course.
pull something out of his ace.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he takes it seriously with the in-ring shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him
He's
that.
athletic enough to
Mhm.
do the stuff, which is good.
Yeah, and he somewhat cares.
But like
He's-
they've said, it's not enough to know how to do the moves. You got to know why you need to do them.
Is that a Jim Cornette thing?
No, I was kind of modifying an old George Carlin quote. He was talking about like when he was complaining about like white movie stars. He was complaining about specifically about the House of Blues, and he was like, don't you ever like hate it when some of these middle-aged white movie stars jump up on a stage and start blowing into a harmonica? Let me tell you something about the blues. It's not enough to know what notes need to be played. You got to know why they need to be played.
Yeah,
That is true.
Not everyone's John Popper.
Yeah. But no, it's like, so I was just kind of thinking about that and saying, well, yeah, in wrestling,
Mhm.
there has to be a reason for you doing the move. Otherwise, it just does become a cooperative gymnastics routine.
Makes sense. Oh, here we go. It's that Michelob Ultra commercial I was talking about yesterday.
Now, that is, that's not like an exact Cornette quote, but that's essentially Cornette's philosophy. It's like, there's got to be reasons for it, So.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone universally agrees he's a super huge douche, but he respects the business. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's literally like the only thing that he's ever made a living on in his entire life. Like, he started taking pictures as a ringside photographer when he was still a teenager,
Didn't
and then he
Paul
got
Heyman
into
do
the
that
business
too?
as a manager in his early 20s. So it's like, yeah, he's always had respect for the business. And it's like, I know Triple H was just making comments saying about, oh, I can't believe all these old guys, complaining about how kayfabe doesn't exist anymore, but then they're having these podcasts where they're talking about how there's no, revealing all the secrets of the past and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Yep.
yeah, kayfabe is already dead. You can't make it alive again.
It's
So
been
they
dead for a
should
while.
not try to capitalize on it.
Yeah, it's been dead for a while.
Right. So wait, Cornette started out as a photographer as well,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
Heyman, right?
Heyman, yep.
Yeah, Cornette was a few years
Before
older.
that. Yeah,
So, yeah. He was taking pictures, matches, like Louisville and then I think in Memphis. I mean, he was ringside as a photographer, and there's a picture of it where you can see where he's in the shot when Jerry Lawler pile drived Andy Kaufman.
No shit.
And they took Kaufman out on the stretcher. There is a photo you can find where they're taking Kaufman out on the stretcher where Cornette's in the shot. He's one of the other people that was there,
Interesting.
Yeah.
So why do people actually hate him? Is it
Because he's opinionated, because he's also gotten fairly political. He is an avowed anti-Trumper,
okay.
but and some people don't like him because they think he's racist and sexist, which I don't know if I would say he's full blown of either, because if he was, I don't think I'd listen to him. But he is generally dismissive of women's wrestling in a lot of ways. He can be dismissive of like any foreign wrestler who can't cut a promo in English. He's made like he was doing commentary again for NWA a few years ago, and he made a comment about Trevor Murdoch or whatever name he's using in NWA now, where he said something about how like he's so tough he could like ride a bike through Africa and like nothing would happen to him, and somebody took it as being like racist to like starving populations in Africa, so he just said, you know what, fuck this, and he quit.
Mhm.
I guess he said racist things in the past. I know a few months ago he was talking about a Swerve segment on AEW. And the guy who does like thumbnail art for his YouTube videos, because in the thing, like, he mentioned the movie Mighty Joe Young, which there's been two versions of, one from the late 40s and one from the late 90s, which is about, a large gorilla.
Gorilla, yeah.
Not as big as King Kong, but he made some reference to Mighty Joe Young in when he was talking about this Swerve segment for some reason. So the guy does the art, then drew like his rendition of like the thing. He drew Swerve, and then he drew
Oh,
Cornette as Mighty Joe Young.
gotcha.
So
Okay.
some people took that as being racially insensitive, which I can understand why they would. My reply to that though would be they didn't draw Swerve as the gorilla, they drew Cornette as the gorilla.
Right.
So he rejected that pretty vociferously when people were trying to make a big deal out of it. He was like, you basically just said fuck you, so
Yeah.
Logan Paul the Maverick. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, he's been
I was
he's
gonna
been
say, how
dubbed
long has he
that
been
for a
calling
while.
himself that? Yeah.
That's
I
just
don't
the
know
first time I
I
think
can't
I've
remember how many
noticed that
times
his name has been listed under his name.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't remember how many times I've really heard them say that in WWE, but I
it's
have a tendency to watch the shows without volume on a lot anymore. So
Pride makes me gag.
no, they have dubbed him that though.
it's
That
on
is
his
the first time I've
Wikipedia.
really
It's
just
it's
noticed
on
it
his
underneath his
Wikipedia
name.
page. I just saw it where it
Good.
says he's the Maverick.
Good for Wikipedia.
I mean, how
He's
has
not the
Top
true Maverick. That's
Yeah,
Tom
how's Top
Cruise.
Gun how's Top Gun not registered that yet or trademarked it? Maddox, I can see your
Highway
foot.
to the danger.
Joe, you catch that?
Yeah.
That was another thing from Southpaw Regional Wrestling where it was like the Ascension guys were going to be like the Top Guns or something like that. And then there was a thing at the end that said like, their debut was delayed due to an injunction filed by Paramount Pictures. I'm so glad AJ is using this music again.
Yeah.
Did he change it?
Yeah, he
had
did for a
changed it
little
for a
bit.
while.
A lot of wrestlers are wearing white this weekend.
And commentary is wearing black.
I almost wonder if it's like it has something to do with maybe the environmental conditions inside the stadium, like if it's like really hot or something.
I mean, Joe, have you been in that stadium? No. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there when it was full of people, so I can't say anything to that. It has to be decently climate controlled though.
Yeah, we did not
You
get a
would
chance
think,
to
being that
go
it's
there
in
the
Vegas,
last time I
so.
was in Vegas.
Vegas, baby. One movie I was exposed to in college. It was that movie.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like a certain list of movies that like if you were in college in like the late 90s or early 2000s, like you had to watch at least once. And that was definitely one of them.
Oh, totally.
The Matrix, Office Space.
Oh yeah. Filling my drink before this starts.
I can't believe Jeremy's doing this to us again.
What? Did he text something or something?
No, I'm just. I said it in my teasing voice, so I was,
Now he's gonna get shit when he comes on.
Can't believe you made us not, you denied us your presence, man. What the hell, man? This ain't cool, man. We can't carry this all by ourselves. We've had to do it too many times like this, man. It's just annoying, man. How many times I'm gonna keep saying man?
We're just gonna kick him out of the trios tag team division and find a new tag team partner. We'll just have to come up with a name for Shane, that's all.
Daniel Mac? No. You're not gonna push AJ Styles around?
Here, do that to Sir AJ. Sir AJ Styles, brother.
The same way as the rest of Parkway's had success, and when local ball thinks differently, it makes it very difficult to figure out an
Speaking of, AJ's wrestling and Samoa Joe just popped in my head. Wednesday night's Dynamite, that type of place they were at is like perfect for professional wrestling. Like the floor is just leveled and you have the two tiers above that. Like that's like some old school stuff, but a good place to have pro wrestling. Good sound in there, good crowd. And that was a good choice to pick that place. I think for AEW, those are some places. They should start finding more places like that.
Yeah, since we know they don't get more than a couple thousand people for a show.
Yeah, it definitely has been a struggle, but I think it's helpful for them.
No, I'm not saying that like there's anything wrong about them doing it. I'm saying that's what they should be doing. I mean,
yeah,
going into a huge arena and having it half empty, it doesn't look good. It's not like it doesn't send a signal of that you're anything worth watching,
no, 100%.
Oh, I'm glad he finished that sentence.
Yeah, that would have been very good.
Yeah, well, no, if he was gonna, I for a second there, I thought he was just gonna end it at like he's never been struck before in a boxing match, and it's like, what?
I'm like, you sure about that?
It's like, I'm gonna have to go ahead and call shenanigans on that one. I think it would be quite complicated to be in a boxing match and never take a punch. But maybe,
it's kind of a,
but maybe that's just me.
I mean, unless you're one of Mike Tyson's earlier opponents, they really never got punches off and they got decimated. So, yeah.
I want to eat his children.
Oh, those were fun times back in the day like that. Overall, this will be a decent match.
Been a little slow.
It has been. It hasn't picked up yet.
I'm not saying it needed to go 1,000 miles a minute. It's just I thought it would be maybe a little more action packed, but maybe again this is just a kind of way of kind of saying, well, I'm not gonna ask Logan to do everything in the world, and we don't want it to be a spot fest either.
No, definitely not Spot Fest.
Well, that's what we were just talking about. It's like, how seriously is he taking this?
Yeah,
Anybody can do a spot fest.
I think he does take it seriously from what I've interviews he's done and stuff like that. So I believe him in that aspect. But
yeah, that's why I haven't been like supremely negative about him doing this, because I've never gotten the sense that like he treats this as a joke or anything like that. I mean, that was why it was like you remember for those couple weeks back, whatever hell year it was, 2006 maybe or 2007, where they used Kevin Federline.
That was horrible.
That didn't bother me because it seemed to kind of work and fit, and he was a natural heat magnet and everything. And I remember all the stories were is that he was like totally chill and respectful of like all the wrestlers and everybody backstage. You know, he took it seriously. You know, he was like, yeah, you know, just let me know what you want to do and I'll do it. And so I was like, okay, you know, I got a little respect for you then.
Which is good. You know, that's you want that. So that's 100% good.
Because you know we have heard stories of like you know some celebrities coming in and you know treating it like a joke and everything,
Yeah.
or you have like a Jeremy Piven situation where you can't remember the name of the show he's supposed to promote.
Oh my God, that was horrible.
The Summerfest.
The Summerfest? What's the Summerfest? We got the little drone going on right here now.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that is. Is that a
It's got to be a drone.
Logan Paul for his podcast thing?
It might
Not
be.
sure.
It's a drone now, yeah. These like fall from grace.
No, I don't know.
It's a fall from grace.
No, it's not great.
Mm. This is kind of like it's definitely it's a slow paced match with like, you know, some spots here and there. Feel like it's slowly
Interesting.
picking up, but
Yeah. That was
that was
a
a that was an interesting
weird.
move.
Yeah.
Let's
An
see that again.
over bomb.
Yeah, that's different. You know, kudos to him for being different.
Yeah.
Wanting to do something different.
All right. Probably not the time to do the Hogan.
When are we gonna get a bookshot lariat?
Ooh.
What the fuck was that shit? Let's do a pose in Hogan and do a split like Naomi on top of the opponent. That was interesting.
So Maddox just told me I couldn't hear. I can't really hear the commentary all that much. He said, Ty Schmidt could do it better from Pat's show.
Oh my God. This is
We surprised. I didn't catch the beginning half of this match. That was has Logan Paul been dominating the entire time?
Certainly
pretty
feels like
much.
he's been in control for
Yeah.
most of it. Yeah.
Most of the match he definitely has been.
I mean, he is significantly younger.
Age has nothing to do with it.
Ain't
But
nothing
no,
but
did you?
ain't nothing but a number.
So do you think we're? I mean, obviously he's a heel. We get that, but he did the Hogan in the ring this, and then he did the.
He always mocks and does stuff like that. I feel like he's been doing it more and more in his matches.
Yeah. I mean, he, he is a huge heel. He doesn't need to do cheap heat.
Yeah, so you don't need the cheap heat for that, but
Right.
flexing his biceps.
He looks good though.
Yeah, he definitely be a natural heel for sure. He definitely plays it very well.
Oh, there was just a little blip in the audio. I guess somebody swore too close to a camera or something.
You know, it's like AJ spoke some curse words. They kind of silenced it.
Good little
I
Christian
mean,
boy.
the thing about it is, it's on Peacock. It's not like it's. I mean, it's technically pay-per-view. Do we have to like?
Did you guys just catch that? It was like a weird AA
Yeah, it was.
that he just did. So I think that might have been something else, and he just kind of dropped him.
Oh my god, did you guys just hear that? It was like a ding. Yeah, my dad got really mad when the South Park made fun of ghost hunters like that. I don't know why. Anytime I ever watch one of those shows with my dad, I just would always look at him and go, "You're fucking buying this shit."
Hey, let him be. It's what he likes.
Yeah,
Thanks,
but
Joe.
it was like every time though, I was like, I can't understand. I didn't hear anything or anything suspicious or whatever. And then like they play it back, and they put the caption on there. It's like, oh, the voice said this, and it's like, no, it fucking didn't.
Oh, it's funny. I see Fortnite Reloaded is one of the sponsors, and they're bringing for Fortnite. They're bringing a couple new Star Wars characters for Star Wars Day, and they're doing a Darth Jar Jar Binks from
Well,
the
oh,
Lego animated that they did for the
I was gonna say I still have forgotten to watch that damn thing.
yeah. So have I. But they're putting Darth Jar Jar Binks in Fortnite. I said I got to get it because that's not a skin. I think they might not bring that back very often.
My insult.
The Rolling Senton, that's like different version of what Mr. Anderson used to do back in the day.
Mr. Anderson,
Or Mr.
welcome back.
Kennedy is
Not
apparently
the same
wherever
one. I
however
thought you were
much
talking about
promotion he was in.
Arn.
Could have been Lars, could have been Gene, could have been Oli.
Yeah, Cole just said sold out
Wes.
of 60,000 this time.
Even Joe.
What?
Mr. Anderson.
Mm-hmm. That is I.
But somehow pulled back. Well, we're at the point in the match now where it's crucial. What is driving you? Both men in agony.
Oh, there's your buckshot lariat.
A slingshot clothesline lariat.
Let's call it the buckshot.
Yeah, that one really wasn't done very well. AJ was a little too far away to make it fluent.
Oh, McAfee just called it a buckshot lariat.
Did he really?
I just call it a buckshot. You're not even, you're asleep.
What, he's sleeping?
No.
Oh.
He's looks a smidge tired.
What the fuck is he doing now?
Huh. That was a weird ass.
I haven't seen him do that since New Japan.
Oh, really? I don't.
Yeah.
I can tell why. Barely got that around. I'm surprised that one, Slim Jim is still around. Two, that they're still in promotions with WWE.
Well, people still need a little excitement.
I guess.
So just need to snap into it.
So many years ago,
Yes.
uh,
Back in 1756. Yes, I was still around. Go ahead. Oh,
no, I think it was 1991. Randy Savage came and did an appearance at the Plainfield Township firehouse, which was only a couple miles up the road from where I used to live.
I called this, by the way.
And he stopped at I was told, because like I knew the people who owned it. There was like a, literally like a corner store, like small, like grocery store at the end of my road and everything. And supposedly Savage stopped in
What?
there like after his appearance at the firehouse and bought a bunch of Slim Jims.
Maddox, who's this guy?
So I guess it wasn't just that he would like endorse it, he did actually use the product as well.
yeah, I definitely knew he did.
What?
Wait, why?
Was Karrion Cross going to use it on AJ?
That's what I would think is like, wasn't Cross like trying to like, when now he's offering them to AJ. Yeah, he's like, hey, come on, AJ, you want to use them. Because they're starting to do the whole thing with Karrion Cross, like what they were starting to do with Sean O'Hare way back in 2003. To be like the devil on your shoulder character, encouraging you to do the things you shouldn't do.
Yeah, 100%.
And I loved how everybody at the time was saying about how like he was doing the devil's advocate gimmick, and it's like, no, he's not doing the devil's advocate. He's doing the devil.
He
Yeah.
said, blast him.
Well, this was more than enough time for Logan to do whatever his new finisher is on AJ. Maddox, I can still see your foot. Yep.
It's actually a pretty cool move.
Oh, that's right. The pulverizer.
Yeah, not surprised Logan won.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well, because once again, it's one of those things where it's like Logan's much younger. You don't know how much longer AJ is going to be around. AJ should be putting people over, especially if Logan's going to be there on any kind of regular basis.
Well, I know AJ said he doesn't want to wrestle past 50. Like
Mhm.
he's like once he turns 50, that's it.
All right. So I brought this up earlier, and I didn't really get a close look at AJ. I can see that Logan Paul is sweating after that match. I was pointing out earlier that you could tell that some people, you can't see the sweat on them. So do they spray something on themselves to make it look like they're not sweating? Are they just that better ring conditioned?
Probably then some people just don't sweat as much as others, and just if this was
Okay.
me, you'd be sweat, you see sweat dripping off me. Like it's a foregone conclusion. I sweat a lot.
They use a healthy dose of Axe spotting spray.
I don't think that would do it.
Either way, I know that's a dumb question. It's just something that I am seeing here.
He doesn't sweat as much. Oh, boo-hoo.
I don't like soup.
I love the chop hits or those. Like, like order lamb. Delish, by the way. What the fuck is this?
That's a fork knife.
Oh.
The new WWE characters, Undertaker and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder if this was like some kind of Swedish fish ad.
See, you also have the
This
No,
is
they're
a
characters in the
Swedish
game.
fish ad.
Sorry, I'm not
see, you also have
knowledgeable.
the WWE collab.
I'm not knowledgeable
What?
of
See, you
Fortnite.
also have the WWE collab.
Okay. Rainbow Six. Hmm. Apparently WWE is also teaming with Rainbow Six Siege
I heard about that.
per the child.
What I always wonder is
This one is actually.
how many people who are really like into Fortnite and everything can define Fortnite.
Wait, what?
How many people who are into Fortnite, like play Fortnite and everything, because I think it's a lot of like younger people. How many of them can define what a Fortnite is? Because it was a word that even for like our generation was pretty well dead. It wasn't like a term that was being used anymore, you know.
WWE Unreal only on Netflix. Oh God.
I guess it's gonna be fake. Because that is unreal.
They say drama, so we know it's unreal.
Did you catch the innuendo that Pat tossed in there?
He always does.
Netflix and watch. What other celebrities are here?
Oh my God,
Again,
somebody who
so
I
many
know.
stars.
Don't know who that is.
Slightly embarrassed to say I know who Vanessa Hudgens is, but yeah. And here's another random person with a comedy show on Netflix who nobody knows.
That is an indie Jeff Goldblum.
Good analogy on that.
Life
I know who Terrence Crawford is.
Finds a way.
What?
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather takes something from Terrence Crawford. He actually fights fighters that actually learn, that
Bravo?
actually fight.
Colonel Back-Wabo? What?
I have no idea who the fuck that guy is.
Oh, by the way, Joe, because like a few years ago they did Rock, then they did Undertaker, then they did Hogan. Hallmark is doing another WWE ornament this year. It is Austin, which I suspected. He's wearing like the vest and jean shorts, and he's raising the fist like this. It actually looks pretty good. Like it's got like a good design to it.
It's not good unless he has the middle fingers up.
Well, come on,
Right.
it was Hallmark,
I know. Oh, big women's tag team.
Yeah, I'm obviously not going to be able to do any ornament buying this year for several reasons. And the funny thing is, when I was going through it, it's like there was only maybe about 10 that I was like, oh, I would definitely get that one. Problem is that those ornaments some of them are getting more expensive. It doesn't seem to be like $20 like a baseline price for any of them anymore. And some of the ones I would want to get are like magic ones, or they're starting to do these ones now that like actually like move and stuff in a certain way. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, they're getting
That's
much
cool.
more sophisticated with them and everything. But yeah, they are doing an Austin WWE anymore. I can't remember what sports guys they had. I think they had Freddie Freeman, and I think they had Connor Bedard.
Oh, they do. That's a
Yeah.
must get.
Yeah, I can't remember all the other sports related people that they had. The Star Wars ones were I wouldn't say there was anything that was like that like kind of like immediately caught my eye kind of. There was an A-wing one. I would definitely get an ornament of the A-wing.
What about an AT-AT?
They've done some AT-AT ones in the past. Like a couple years ago, they did like an AT-AT that was like rendered in like heavy chrome or pewter, I guess, kind of. I've got that one. It's a heavy ornament. Actually, I downloaded the damn thing. Let me just pull the Star Wars stuff real quick.
In the land of Hoth.
Why is it called Hoth? It should be called Cold.
Alderaan.
Family Guy, I think, did that joke.
Those yeah, the blue. What were they? Family blue.
Blue Harvest.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay, where are the Star Wars? Where is the Star Wars? Where is
Yeah,
the
these two
stars?
need to keep the tag belts for quite some time.
Yes, they do.
Okay, they have Jedi General Anakin Skywalker.
That's a good one.
It's really more Revenge of the Sith looking than Clone Wars looking. They have a Chopper one, which I would definitely get.
Oh, that'll be cool too, Chopper.
They have an Ahsoka one, which it says is like the 29th in the Star Wars series ornament, which, you know, so she looks kind of the way she did in the Ahsoka series, that she's wearing like the full cloak. But they did do an Ahsoka ornament not that long ago, which is why I find that kind of interesting.
Sorry to interrupt here.
Nope.
Did we talk about who the potential mystery?
We've been thinking Becky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's this now?
Hey, at this point, it could be someone from NXT.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, it could be someone from
TNA.
TNA. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Tully Blanchard's child.
Oh, that would shock me.
I'm
Oh,
kidding. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
wouldn't that be some shit if she was the one they picked to replace?
They
Oh,
have
this is Valkyrie?
No, just an outfit.
Valkyria. Okay.
as part of the 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith, they have an Execute Order 66 ornament where it's like the one clone trooper holding up the thing in his hand where Palpatine's telling him execute Order 66.
Oh,
Okay.
And it says it plays, lights up and plays dialogue from the scene. The Chopper one, it says plays Chopper's vocalizations as well. Oh, okay, no, this Jedi General Anakin Skywalker, it's saying specifically is from Ahsoka. In like the flashbacks that they did there.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes
There's
sense.
there's a limited quantity of the armor from the Mandalorian. There's a one where it's from Empire where Luke's doing the handstand and Yoda's balancing on his foot, and it says plays dialogue from the scene. The ornament's called "There Is No Try," so okay. There's a TIE Avenger. There's a Cassian Andor. There's a Darth Vader pyre helmet, the burned out helmet from Rise of Skywalker, because it's already been 10 years since Rise of Skywalker.
oh, it is Becky.
Yep.
Not to be confused with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. They better not win the fucking tag belts.
They better not. There's the A-Wing fighter. They're doing another vintage figure ornament, this one of Luke, where it's like an ornament of like the original Kenner action figure on the card. They did one of Vader last year. There's a magic scene where it's the like the chess or whatever the hell that game is from A New Hope, where it's Chewie's playing R2 and 3PO sitting there, and it's called Let the Wookiee Win.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of the ones that not only is it magic, it's like one that requires their special power cord. So that's an expensive ornament.
All right, not trying to make fun of the crowd, but please, why are we crying for Becky Lynch?
Yeah, really. There's another Grogu.
Sorry, fans.
Yeah, there's another Grogu.
I apologize, but
because they've done so many Grogu ornaments, of course, it's like, you can't keep buying every Grogu ornament they do. But this one, it's like when he's wearing like that like chest plate thing, I think from the 3rd season of Mandalorian. And then there's a Grogu operating IG-12 ornament, which plays dialogue from the scenes. So,
this is one thing I kind of like. No offense, it's Becky Lynch. Why is Liv looking like she's scared shitless? You know what I mean? I understand the storyline about what happened between them two, but
I was gonna say I think that's why. It's because
it's Becky or Rhea. Like, I'd be more scared of Rhea than Becky, honestly. If I was
Becky's
but I get the storyline stuff.
Becky's not an intimidating figure in that sense,
No.
You don't cower in fear from Becky. You start throwing a fit that it's Becky.
Yes, correct.
So, is there any connection between the lady with the wings and Becky?
Yeah, they're both Irish.
Okay, noted.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
That's the gist of that one.
Because
she's geeking out, by the way. Valkyrie is completely geeking out.
WWE always does this thing where they think everybody who was from the same country have to are automatically friends because, as we know, every American loves each other.
Oh, it's kind of like the Samoans and the Tonkins.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and
From last night.
just to conclude again, because we were doing the ages and everything, Becky is 38.
Yeah.
What about Val
Hmm?
Valkyrie?
Well, I said hers before.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry.
She's 28 with a birthday coming in October.
Hmm.
Here's what I love about Lyra Valkyria. They gave her that name, Lyra Valkyria, because her real name is unpronounceable first name Cusack.
Oh,
She's got one of those Gaelic first names. It's
Uh,
Aoife.
I
do we
get you
think
then.
Liv's gonna?
Is that Effie?
There
I
we
mean,
go.
I have no clue, you know. And what's weird is that Wikipedia doesn't give like a pronunciation thing for it either.
Sorry, I was just gonna call what just happened. I was like, Liv's not gonna do this. She's just gonna turn around and tag in.
Yes, I would do.
Yeah. Ooh. What?
What? What? What?
Well, that didn't happen the way they wanted it to, but that's
No.
that's what it is.
Did I just hear hit my back?
I can't believe she's wrestling with that thing on her head, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just saw one feather fly up, and in this match, it's probably going to be totally destroyed.
Yeah. Well, they are on Peacock.
Cock-a-doodle doo.
So is she over or no?
I don't remember that
She
the
is for the most part.
mythical Valkyrie creature. I didn't think it was feathered at the top, but I'm also not that knowledgeable.
It's racially insensitive, Pat.
I'm at the point in my life where people want to say I'm insensitive to something. I'm just going to be like, yeah, fuck you.
That's gonna be an old cranky
Oof.
man.
Dude, I've said this repeatedly. I've been a
Oh,
cranky old man since I was about 18.
shit, that boot to the stomach was
I
oof.
That's what I just oohed at.
You know,
That is,
10 years of attending the Penargil area school district, I think, killed me as a person, you know? So,
Oh, I get it. I mean, mine was only 4, but neither here nor there.
yeah, I moved into the school district in time for second grade. So wait, that's 11 years now, not 10. Jeez.
Speaking of,
It was funny too. I was having an interesting conversation with the nurse at my doctor's office a couple weeks ago because she went to Penargil and she's a little older than me. But she says like her daughter goes to Parkland, and she's like, "There's really no bullying at Parkland because the school's too big for anybody to really care." Like it's like you don't really have classes with the same people all the time every day for every year of your life like you do at a smaller school district like Penargil. And she says that she's talked to people whose kids go to Penargil and they say bullying is still a huge issue at Penargil. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not fucking surprised because they've never shown one fucking care to ever do anything about it. I remember several years ago there was when Haverhill was still the superintendent. There was video of a school board meeting that was posted to WFMZ's website because they were like covering it. It was because they were expecting problems because a student had unfortunately recently killed herself.
I
And
heard about that.
yeah, I guess I think it was because she had like left. She either indicated she was bullied or she left a note. I don't remember. It's been a long time, and the last time I went to go try to find the video again, like in an archive, I couldn't find it. But I remember when I watched it and everything, there was Haverhill conducting the school board meeting, and he was trying to be like reassuring and everything. And so he was doing it with this big smile on his face, like he always had. Sometimes when he was like nervous too, because that's what
Mhm.
he looked like when he was nervous. And I don't remember exactly what it was that he said, but as soon as he said it, there was like this huge uproar from the gallery, and like half the people there walked out in disgust.
Yep.
Hmm.
Don't miss that at all.
No, I don't either. He's not the superintendent anymore, but I mean,
Mhm.
it also really doesn't matter. He was also superintendent of that school district for entirely too long.
Mhm.
Like he became the principal of the middle school when I was in fourth grade, and he was the superintendent within like 2 years.
Hmm.
It's like I didn't quite figure that one out. Of course, I didn't really know what his background was before he came to the school. So, but you know,
All cop.
I don't know. It's like I don't know like what other school district or job he might have come from if he had been like a teacher or whatever the case was.
Yeah. Ooh.
There's been some sloppiness in this match.
Yeah.
Bad timing and stuff like that too.
I mean, yeah, Becky hasn't been in the ring in what the hell's it been 9, 10 months?
Yeah.
Did,
Literally picked up the titles expecting that was going to be the pin.
did, that was a
Liv.
weird way to do that slam. It looked like it was we're going around the other way, not
Yeah.
the natural way.
That looked like it hurt.
Mm.
I mean, Liv's thing is that she's really the total chicken shit heel, and
Yeah,
she plays the role very well. So,
I'm completely
does.
cool with it.
but it is still something to be like terrified of Becky because again, Becky's not a huge woman or anything. She's not like Rhea. She's not like Raquel. She's not Nia.
Step
Becky's
up insecurity to the elbow.
Becky's pretty mid-sized for a woman. So
Hmm.
for a woman wrestler, yeah.
Right.
Your head explode.
Let's not talk about her husband.
I did
What were
see.
you?
I did say I saw a backstage video of Becky last night, like celebrating Seth's win. I guess.
Yeah.
She had this like look on her face, like, "Isn't that great? He just turned heel." It's like, but yeah, but you're a face, Becky. I mean,
Would be great right now is AJ Lee coming out of the crowd to screw Becky over for winning the fucking tag titles.
Yeah.
but let's be fair. It wasn't Seth that screwed Punk. It was Heyman. So
Punk screwed Punk.
I have no sympathy for Punk. I have no sympathy for Roman.
Zero. Yeah, we'll see where that storyline goes with that triangle.
Yeah. Well, Cage Side Seats had an article today. I didn't read it. I just saw the headline, something about like Roman's retirement could be sooner than you think.
Yeah, you never know.
I mean, interesting, fair point, because I guess I guess it had something to do with Roman saying something, and I don't know if those comments were kayfabe or not. I would assume that they were kayfabe because Roman really doesn't speak out of kayfabe.
No.
Saying something about like, if I can't have my wise man, then what's for me to do or something like that. So it will be interesting to see exactly how they do it.
Yeah, it will be.
You got to think Roman wants, his revenge on Seth, but Punk's going to want his revenge on Seth too. But again, like I said, they've done
Another
Punk
triple
wrong.
threat.
They've done, boy, they've done Punk and Raw,
Wow.
I think, as far as they can for the time being.
Was this for the championships?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think this was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Again, I don't see it yet with Lyra. Not saying that I never will, but I don't see it yet, and I don't think she's particularly over. I mean, I think they gave her the Intercontinental title as a way to try to get her over, and I don't think it's really come through yet. Like Chelsea Green's done a good job with the women's U.S. title. But I haven't really felt it with Lyra yet. And now this is like, so I guess Becky's back now, you know?
So, all right, let's bring this up. People were so pissed off that Charlotte won the Royal Rumble and worried about she was gonna coming back to beat Tiffy for the title, and
Yep.
then this shit happens.
Mhm.
It's not that dissimilar at all. Yeah, except that the women's tag team titles don't mean nearly as much as the women's world title or whatever the name of the belt that Tiffany has. I don't remember if it's the world title or the WWE title. I don't know.
But nonetheless, her first match back, and she wins the title.
Well, yeah.
She wins a title.
Yeah,
Now,
and
no,
not
we didn't know
yeah,
she was coming back. It's something a surprise, but
right.
still,
It was like, well, here's the thing too.
why
How
are
do
you
you
taking
feel?
the belts off those two girls who deserve it?
I hadn't mentioned it yet because I knew it was just trolling. But how do you feel right now if you're Bailey that you got taken out of this match, so Becky could be in it?
Yeah,
Right, but also at the same point,
I've been expecting a Bailey heel turn, and they did tease tension between her and Lyra after Lyra beat her in that match for the Intercontinental title before they won the Gauntlet match and everything. But it's like in the last week, they basically just said, or in the last 2 days, they just said, Bailey, we're taking you out of that match so we can put Becky in it.
I must notice though, why'd they take her out?
To
well,
put Becky in the match. Apparently, that's the only
Oh,
reason
that's
I could
literally.
see.
Oh,
She's not
okay.
legitimately hurt or anything. So
no, they just did a backstage thing where she got jumped.
yeah, and I don't even think, did they even say who jumped her? I mean, we're gonna do that shit
I
again.
didn't even see, to be honest.
Yeah,
Probably Naomi too.
it's always Naomi.
That's all she does is hang out on the backstage and just jump people.
She just beats people up on a nightly basis. Yeah, that's man. Yeah, I mean, I it's like there's a certain group of a couple females that when they go out and they come back, it's like they automatically are right back into a title shot, no matter what it is.
Yeah. I also like they just introduced the women's not extra titles, but like the
The
like the
mid-card
US
titles.
and the mid card titles. They just that's relatively new, right?
Yeah.
I think it's weird for someone to have the Intercontinental and tag team champion.
I mean, they've done it before, but it's just I don't know. You're giving a girl a push, which I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it, but I think it might be a little premature. And then you're putting her with a veteran who's coming back and winning a tag title. Like,
Yeah, I mean this kind of just smells like Becky's gonna turn on her for the championship, possibly, because it is just another championship. What's Aviator? The sunglasses?
yeah,
Hmm.
I think so. Yeah,
I didn't know if they actually had a brand or they were just called Aviators.
under the art call that, but I think it was actually a specific brand.
Hmm.
I believe it's sunglasses. I could be wrong.
You know what Aviator is?
Yeah, Max, Google it.
Yeah, Maddox, Google it per Joe.
Get those Google fingers working.
He doesn't have his phone right now.
He's a kid with a slacker.
No. Hmm. We won't get into that. Maddox, chill out.
One of those type of things. I get you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I
Big
ask
Pat knows.
you this question.
Yeah.
When is the best time to buy Christmas candy?
Don't.
Day after.
Yeah, right after Christmas, because that's when they put it on sale. I've still got all these Christmas color Hershey Kisses.
You're funny.
It's a same Aviator, a 70s expired California lifestyle brand.
Okay. So it's an apparel store, apparel company.
Yeah, from what I'm gathering here. Pat,
Yeah.
do you know Aviator?
What?
Aviator, the one that's advertising on.
I've heard of Aviator sunglasses.
Yeah, that's what we're
The
trying to figure
brand.
out. Oh, let's see, Aviator brand.
Well, goddamn, son. By the way,
Are they doing the Hall of Fame thing now?
well, they
No,
did
they
it
did that
last. No, they did
yesterday.
it last night. So this is just Austin coming to the ring, I guess. Or he's
Cheap
gonna
pop.
running his fucking ATV.
Mhm.
The Logan Paul AJ Styles match went 17 minutes and 50 seconds, the longest match of the night so far, and it definitely felt like it.
Did it just freeze for you guys too?
No,
Oh, well, Joe and I might be at the same point now.
and the women's tag match they just updated went 8 minutes 45 seconds, making it the third shortest match of the entire show, including last night. And I really wonder how long this last match is going to go because, Cena's worked 2 matches in the last how long, and it was, the Elimination Chamber and the Rumble. So
How many matches do we have left?
just the Cena Cody match.
Are we already at that point? Really?
Yeah. It's 10 o'clock.
Wow.
Yeah, this will take
He-
5 to 8 minutes.
Especially since he just crashed the damn thing into the barricade.
Yeah, he did.
He's laughing, having a big old time.
Yeah. Grab some Steve Weisers. What?
Yeah, I know I was supposed to be
I
the
think
one to
that lady
show up
looks
in it. I know
significantly
I was supposed to be
scared
the
that he
one that was
crashed
supposed
it
to
right
show up
there.
in the main event match last year, but goddamn, they didn't want to pay me enough last year. This year they decided to pay me enough.
Man, that really sucked for us. We got Taker instead.
I mean, I was fine with Taker. It's just that, of course, there wasn't the history between Taker and Rock that there was between Austin and Rock.
Right.
Yes.
And also because, of course, one of Austin and Rock's WrestleMania matches was in Philadelphia.
He's doing what Shawn Michaels did last night.
That's a hell of a lot less than what they said last night. This is 67,000 some last night.
No, I thought it
No,
was
last night
61
was
last night.
61. 61 was last night.
Yeah.
Oh, why did I think they said 67?
So I'm confused as to how they can have a sold out attendance with more people. I don't know how math works or space as a whole.
Well, nobody understands how WWE attendance works. So, I mean,
Maybe we
Sold out
tried.
means no one else can get in there. What?
it
We
truly
can't have
is
more
Steiner
people.
math.
What?
Is he trying to like count every person?
Yeah.
Is this going to be like Jericho reciting the list of 1,000?
Oh my God, that was genius. So good.
And the best part about that, of course, was that they went to commercial. They come back from commercial. He's still in the ring reading.
Yeah.
And he's up to like number 700.
It was a 3-minute commercial.
And the fact that like every other move was an arm bar, and
Yeah.
one of the first moves that he mentioned was like the moss covered family Redunzel or something, which was like from a Dr. Seuss story. That's when Jericho was entertaining.
Yeah. You
Give me
stupid
some of my
idiot.
give me some of my Steve Weisers.
He was on Pat's show on Friday.
Well, let's get the ring all fucking wet. So, Cody and Cena can slip all over it now.
That's all right. They can clean it just as fast as they put that other table
I
back
was going to
together.
say they'll probably swap out the mat or something. Because I'm sure we're going to get about a 10-minute video package coming up here.
I was going to bring that up. So I haven't noticed any like of those old school like here's what's happened to get us to this point videos like they used to do, unless I completely am missing that.
And they're talking to some, they only did a couple, I think.
I think they've still had
Or
a
vignettes.
couple. I think they've still had a couple, but I also think it's got to a point where they're like, we are how many hours of a pre-show and shit.
Okay, fair. That makes sense. I didn't think about that. Thank you.
Is he trying to make sure the person that they knocked into is okay? Oh, look at that. I think they said, Steve, you're not allowed to ride it back out of here. You drunken maniac.
Got a flat tire. There's a lawsuit. Can you imagine how that would go?
They'll buy him off as best they can.
Yeah. Give you 10 cases of El Segundo. Steve Weisers.
Yeah, they'll give him some of Austin's Broken Skull IPA.
Yeah. All right, I would take it.
I was saying, we'll give you a couple cases of the Broken Skull IPA. Don't worry, it's not as bad as Hogan's.
Oh, so yeah, at the Pat's big night out we were talking about yesterday,
Yeah.
they Michael Cole came on and was hammered. Apparently, bro likes to drink.
I'm not working
does.
tomorrow. I can do what I want.
He's
Oh,
gonna
there we
have
go. It's Mo-
Heyman and Cena on tomorrow.
Interesting. And Michael Cole.
Gee, that feels like a spoiler.
2 heels. Yeah, spoiler alert off. So I saw I heard you guys talking about, but Nico came in because it's time for his bed. Uh,
Tell him we said hi.
I saw they were talking to the people that
Yeah.
Austin ran into the barricade.
Yep.
And I hope he didn't hurt that chick. She looked kind of like shocked and upset and not sure what the fuck just happened.
I mean, it's a lawsuit just to be a lawsuit. Oh my God, I was so scared for my life.
I can't believe we're at the main event already. Wow.
Match presented by Drumstick Popsicle.
You say you can't believe. I mean, it's like it is 10 o'clock. The show has been on for 3 hours.
I know, but the 3 hours went fast though. You know what I mean?
You're welcome.
Yeah,
That's what you guys
it
get.
actually did.
Bringing
Yeah,
me on.
The night doesn't seem to be quite as long when we're not there freezing our butts off, you know.
Yeah,
That was only
is
night
true.
one.
I was gonna say, yeah, night 2 was not nearly as bad.
Yeah, night 2 was better.
So yeah, kind of touching back on us not getting Stone Cold and only getting Taker. Like I said, I've said this since that night is like would I have loved to hear the glass break? 1,000,000,000%. But hearing the Undertaker gong, all the lights going out, you just have the goosebumps. You can't explain it. You cannot explain like all the WWE wrestlers are like, you can't explain it. It's like, no, you can't. You can't. And also to be in the same place where a meme happens is pretty
Yeah.
fucking cool.
It is. It is.
Unless your name is AJ, of course, then you
Fair.
just roll your eyes at Taker.
Yeah.
Of course, he would do the same for Austin. So
Oh yeah, so you guys did get
Yes.
what I was talking about yesterday with where he's rekindling that Game Boy commercial or the Super Nintendo commercial from the early 90s,
Yeah.
which is why that's a thing, yeah. Vagitas. Mm.
If Cena wins this match, he needs to bring the spitter belt back. He
I
probably
want
won't,
to.
but it would be funny.
Yeah, probably not. All right, so scale from 1 to 10, how surprised would we be if Cody won? He shouldn't.
scale of 1 to 10, how surprised would I be if Cody wins? 5.
Okay, a little anticlimactic, but I get it.
Because I can still talk myself into like, well, Cody should win because he's still going to be there every week.
Yeah. Okay. Agreed.
And like I said, we don't know exactly what Cena's, exact schedule is going to be going forward.
6.5.
The correct answer is 6.5. SNL McLaughlin Group.
Mm. Man, those shows were tough to watch. The McLaughlin Group when they would be on it. Was it 3 o'clock in the morning when you would wake up after passing out in front of the TV? Or was
Whenever
that the
whenever like the actual McLaughlin Group was still on and I would like stumble across or whatever, for the longest time, my problem was, of course, I didn't really have a full enough understanding of what they were talking about.
I think I might be confusing
I
with the
wasn't,
700 Club, actually.
I wasn't that up with the political news. Yeah, I
Oh
think,
my
yeah,
god.
the 700 Club, yeah,
I still don't know what that is, by the way. I have no idea what the show was about.
it's televangelism.
Fair. Then what's 700? What's
You
the
know
700 stand for?
that part of it, I honestly don't know.
They might have well have called it the 316 Club. John 316. Fine, I'll watch this.
Just John Cena, all black with white lettering.
Yes, it's very minimalist.
It really is. It would have been really great had he actually not come out and those doors opened and he just showed up in the ring.
That would be funny.
Be sure though.
Well, this could be the last time. This could be the last time. Maybe the last time. I don't know. My apologies for my horrible singing.
Sorry, we heard it earlier.
You did? When did I sing before?
Um, More than a feeling.
Oh, right. And,
Is Cena wearing his Skechers?
They're wrestling sketchers.
I was gonna say they're all black, so it's a little
Yeah.
hard to tell.
This is it
I
does.
feel like they fumbled the apparel for him. Like
Yeah.
they could have came out with like a couple shirts with like some heel Cena shit that would have like sold like hotcakes.
Well, again, the story still was. It seemed like it came together kind of suddenly.
Mhm.
So I think they had all like the last time is now merch ready, and they didn't really have like heel merch ready.
They could have pulled something out their asses.
Yeah, they probably could have, but I think they felt like, again, we've already produced all this merch, so that's what we're gonna sell.
Yeah, I don't. It
Even for a
just
company, even for a company that's absolutely swimming in money right now, it's like you still got to make sound business decisions. You want to limit sunk costs.
Well, they had to, I guess. You know, this they just bought AAA.
it's just
Well, again, I don't know how much of that was cash, how much of it was stock, you know.
stonks.
Yes, very true.
It's so weird that he's coming out as heel Cena in his last WrestleMania.
That's why I still didn't really think that they were going to do it. I was like, now he's got the full respect of the audience and the crowd, and people want to see him this last time and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're gonna ask people to boo him for the last time, and then like after it happened, I talked myself back, and it was like, well, they can turn him back face on a dime, and nobody's gonna.
Right, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be at a WrestleMania though.
Right. That's the thing too, because he said he's not wrestling past this calendar year, so it's like, how exactly do you turn him back face? It's like, do you do like the Andre, where like in his last match he just tells the heel to go fuck off or whatever, and so he walks out a
Mhm.
face, but doesn't like wrestle as a face.
Is that Nitro Circus?
Yeah, this motorbike stuff is a little bit odd.
No, I think Nitro Circus is a different color.
Remember, I am Skeletor. Yeah.
Oh, automatically opens. He's got like one of those masks, like with the Iron Man shit.
Yeah.
that I am.
I don't understand the dirt bikes, but okay.
Because it looks really cool.
And he's kind of wearing a helmet.
Whoa. Every time I hear because I don't actually know what the next line is. Every time like I'm in a song where I hear like my father said when I was younger, in my head I'm always going, that's hard times, baby. That's what his father said.
Yep. Hard times.
I think Cody was alive by the time of the Hard Times promo.
I wonder how many of Cody's
Probably.
AEW friends are in a suite right now.
Ricky
I was gonna
Saints.
say the Ricky Saints is almost definitely there.
But current
Um,
AEW wrestlers.
June 30th, 85. Okay.
It'll probably come up on social media at some point.
Well, isn't he friends with or wasn't he friends with
His brother's there, that's for sure.
yeah, the tag team FTR?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay. The Hard Times promo was on Mid-Atlantic Wrestling October 29th, 1985, which means that Cody was about 4 months old.
Holy shit.
He was a plumber's
Damn.
son.
With the son of a plumber son.
No, that sounds pretty good right now.
Oh, that how thoughtful and considerate to make sure that they're not destroying their daughter's eardrums.
Aw.
Well, I mean, what was it? Shit, was it last fall or
Mama Rhodes.
no? I think it was back in the fall of 2023. Now, like, my own cousin got married, and her now husband is of Nigerian descent. So they were doing like a Nigerian style wedding, then they did like a traditional style wedding. The only one that I went to was like the Nigerian wedding. Um, but it was like the sound system they used was pretty shitty, and it was like this kind of like ongoing thing, but it was like the sound system again was just it was like very scratchy or just very bad quality and everything. But then like after they got through all the ceremony and everything, they were just playing the music. They were playing the music at a 100 on a scale of 1 to 10. And so my cousin's sister, my other cousin, of course, she had her young daughter there with her who was like 2 or 3 at the time. And she had like, headphones, earmuffs, whatever they were exactly on top of her. And like when I was the one time I was able to go over and say to her, I'm like, like those were a great idea. But actually, I think the way it came out though, I think it was like more kind of like, those were a great idea. That's how to be heard by the person sitting next to you. That's how loud you had to talk.
Oh man.
Yeah,
how far into this match we think any shenanigans start to happen?
hard to say.
13 minutes.
Minute mark.
Well, let's wait until the bell rings exactly, and then
Is that Kevin Costner's brother as a referee?
I don't think that much. Nah, I wouldn't say he looks that much like Costner.
All right, distant cousin.
I mean, I see a little bit, but not enough to say it would be his
Okay.
brother.
Chill out, Pat.
Like, I'm gonna criticize you, okay?
Please do. That's why I'm here.
For years, my dad had a great idea he thought for a fourth Indiana Jones movie
Oh boy.
where Kevin Costner would play his long lost brother. And I, even back in like the 90s, I think I was trying to tell him, yeah, I don't think anybody really wants to see that right now, Dad. Especially because I think the first time he maybe was starting to say that was around the time of Waterworld, which kind of destroyed Costner for a little while. And then he did The Postman, which did it even more. So
Yeah. You're telling me I can pee into a Mr. Coffee and get Taster's Choice? It's a Dana Carvey skit.
I think he just wanted to see, another Indiana Jones movie and one with
Mhm.
Sean Connery too. So
You know what you could have said back then is, hey, just imagine an alien head. Just imagine.
that was a great sign.
10-13.
There was a great sign there that said "Ugh, jorts."
I see it, yeah.
Match started, bell rang just before 10-14, so 10-13.
Okay.
Allegedly.
So we're saying we think you said 12 minutes, you think, before shenanigans start happening?
I said 13. Joe said 18.
Okay, so we're talking like
But now that I'm thinking about it, I'd like to change my answer.
so here's the thing, it's like the bells rung at 10:13, like you said.
And
They're obviously going to go to 11-ish. I
Yeah.
can't believe that they're going to have Cena work like a 30-minute match here.
right, that's what
Without
I
shenanigans at all.
yeah, that's kind of so is this a bloodline match?
No, this is straight
Bloodline
one-on-one.
rules.
There's no steps at all. So yeah, that's the whole thing
See,
too.
but
It's like
right.
that's the thing. It's like you can't have like all the shenanigans like you did last year because there isn't a no DQ step.
Mhm. And can
Yeah.
I mean,
Cena go?
again, I'm not saying there can't be shenanigans, but I'm saying it's harder to pull it off because you basically have to have a knocked out ref for it. Then.
Right. Unless they do ref after ref after ref and have what little Nate come out
Or John Cena keeps,
doing
going
this.
outside the
Yeah, I
ring.
want to. I want
Which
to see.
is
I want to see Charles Robinson sprinting down the ramp.
yeah. Yeah, this is what Gunther did last
Stone Cold will
year.
just drive him down to the ring.
Crash
I mean,
into another
I'm not.
barricade.
I'm not surprised that there would be stalling and shit. During.
Right.
There's only so much stalling you can do that before you get the crowd pissed. So.
Well, Cena's heel, so he's going to do that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, pissed in the sense of like being like restless and antsy and just like get on with it, kind of not like boo, he's doing this.
Ba-da-ba.
I gotta turn the volume up a little bit. I'm trying to gauge the crowd reaction here. Well, Wade's selling it like that they're booing Cena, so there's no way he's getting universally booed though. So
Hmm.
Inside the ring again.
Yeah. Cheap Heat. Cheap Heat.
cheap, cheap, cheap,
He
cheap,
hates this,
cheap,
allegedly.
cheap. Where's there a cheap, cheap? I hate those fucking things.
Boo.
Oh come on, it's a
They
video.
just brought up that Cody's 0-4 against Cena in his lifetime.
How many of those were Stardust?
And when was the last time one of those matches happened? 10 years ago,
Yeah, I know.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
When he was Stardust, probably.
John Cena versus Cody Rhodes history.
John Cena, the mat technician. Well, there's booze already.
Okay, John Cena beat Cody Rhodes in a elimination chamber qualifying match in 2010.
15 years ago.
Cena beat Cody in a singles match on the January 28th, 2013 episode of Raw. And he was still Cody Rhodes then, because there's a picture. And then he beat Stardust in a singles match to, I believe, retain the United States title on the April 6th, 2015 edition of Raw. So it literally has been 10 years since they've had a one-on-one match.
Gotcha.
Stomp, stomp, stomp. The most effective move in some wrestling video game.
Come on, Cena. Give me one of your 5 moves of doom right now, brother.
He's getting cheered. So, go ahead and what you were laughing at.
Cena doing this kind of like fake curtsy after getting cheered.
Oh, yep, got it.
It is ironic, and I think maybe Barrett might have said it. I couldn't quite hear what he said though. That like it always used to be like the deeper voices in the audience were always the ones booing Cena, and now it's the
Mhm.
deeper voices of the audience are the ones cheering him.
So, do we think if Cena would have stayed face, this would be like how many do you think it's all smarks?
Maybe I don't know.
Mm,
Like I expected them to do Cody versus Cena no matter what. I just assumed it was
Mhm.
going to be face versus
Face,
face.
face. Mhm.
yeah, same
Yeah,
here.
I frankly would have been more interested to see what the audience split would be like if it was like that. Because yeah, I think there is something to be said, like what you just said,
Mhm.
that it's like the smarky ones who were cheering Cena just because he turned heel because they finally got Cena turning heel.
Right,
Not because it's been booked great or anything like that, but just because they finally got what they've been asking for like 15 years.
right.
But if it was face versus face, would we have gotten a Rock versus Hogan moment?
Yeah.
Or just
We
everyone booing everything.
we easily see we never quite get Rock Hogan because that was very unique to the place and being in Toronto because Hogan was always huge in Toronto.
Yeah, he was.
And there was still that sense that I think maybe also Rock had taken off all that time in 2001 to film The Scorpion King, so I think people knew that he already kind of had one foot out the door. So I think that may have contributed to it as well. So here it would be totally different. Like it's like we know Cena's leaving. We know this is his last WrestleMania. You know, he claims it's his last WrestleMania. Um, you can argue Cody's gotten a little stale that he has his title reign hasn't been great.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it would have been very interesting. You know, I think maybe the crowd would have still been more in favor of Cena, and Cody might have had to work a little heelish and just in terms of the match itself and the program, but not like
Yeah.
fully. You know, it would have been they would have had to try to have done something maybe kind of like Rock Austin at WrestleMania 17. They were both faces going into the match.
Quick side note, because we're talking about The Rock. Did you guys see the Undertaker interview where he was talking about The Rock when he would face The Rock and when The Rock would be facing the Titantron with the Undertaker with his back to the Titantron, The Rock would be watching himself hitting the Undertaker. I'll have to find it and I'll send it over to Joe and Joe can send it out. But
That's hilarious, actually.
so The Rock
I don't know. Maybe I saw that. Yeah, I'm not
and
sure.
you can actually see in the videos that they showed, you can see The Rock looking up at the Titantron while he's hitting Undertaker. And so
Not
Under
surprised.
Undertaker brought it up to The Rock. He's like, "Can you just at least show me the respect of looking at me while you're hitting me?" And I guess The Rock just laughed and like walked away. But
I mean, when you think about it, you think about the guys who were like the biggest guys in the Attitude Era, and more or less the four biggest guys in WWF in the Attitude Era were Austin, Rock, Triple H, Undertaker.
Shawn
Sorry,
Michaels.
sorry,
Yep.
sorry, Mick. And was considering they said the Attitude Era began when Austin won the title of WrestleMania 14. Michaels then therefore really wasn't
Fair, fair.
the Attitude Era. Um, Austin Triple H had good matches. Austin Undertaker had good matches. Austin Rock had good matches. Triple H Rock had good matches. Triple H Undertaker had good matches. Rock Undertaker did not have good matches. There's really no memorable Rock Undertaker match.
Fair.
Nope.
And it's kind of like we know that when they've had good to great matches with other people, why didn't they have great matches with each other?
Hmm.
It is kind of an interesting little thing because yeah, it just and Rock had good matches with Foley, and Undertaker had good matches with Foley, and Triple H and Austin had good matches with Foley. So again,
Yeah, they did.
so why was Rock Undertaker the one in that whole thing where you can't really say they had classic?
Yeah. What was so different with those two?
So I just looked it up. Undertaker versus The Rock matches. If I scroll down a little bit in Google, Reddit, did The Rock ever have a good one-on-one match with The Undertaker?
No.
There's only a couple that I remember they had. No, I'm not talking about quality, just the matches themselves. Like they had a match for the title, I want to say King of the Ring 99 when Undertaker was champion. He defended against Rock, who had just turned face only like a month or two before, because that's when Austin was fighting Vince and Shane for the control of the company. And then I think they had a match. I think it might have been at No Way Out 2002 when the NWO came back, because Rock was the face and Undertaker was a heel. Um, I really can't think of too many other matches that they had other than those two. They must have at some point, but I just can't think. And the other thing too is that later on in 2002, they had a really good triple threat match, which also involved Kurt Angle.
Hmm.
Undertaker
I do
came
remember
into
that,
the
yeah.
match as the champion, and Rock pinned Angle to win the match. Like,
remember
I've
that
still
one.
never actually watched that match, but I know it's always gotten a lot of praise. But I obviously, and Angle had a lot to do with that.
Very much so.
Joe, I sent that over to you. He is with Devon Dudley.
Testify. Always weird to see a heel get the advantage on the face and not like try to capitalize on it.
Right.
But again,
Again, this goes back to the
because he's not exactly in what you would call prime ring shape. So
Uh, dashing Cody Rhodes.
I just sent it to our group chat, Pat.
yeah, I'll check it out then.
Yeah, just kind of throwing it out there because it was in the. He only did one shoulder block.
Oh, what a slacker, man.
No, I
Not
think
give your 5 food moves of doom classics here.
I was
Let's
gonna say
go.
I think McAfee just said something. We all know where this is headed. Talking about him just doing the moves. That was not a great power slam. He didn't really fully catch him and really twist him over the way you want to.
No, he
We're
didn't.
still a little. There we go. Oof. No, it was not.
Oh, you guys are behind me still? Let me hit pause
Yeah, by
for a
2 or 3
second.
seconds.
Yeah.
Ooh, not a good disaster kick either.
Yeah, for a minute there when he started going for the disaster kick, I thought he was going to go for one of the Cena flying shoulder tackles.
Yeah. He's doing the Randy Orton powering up.
Cody Cutter was
Cody Cutter was also not good.
Yeah, it was. It seems like they don't have a great feel for each other,
No.
which is kind of not surprising.
All right. Well, when did the match start?
10
10,
13.
13,
Okay.
14. So it's
now.
been about 13 minutes. Yeah.
I'm really glad I took back what I was saying or what I said.
No take backsies.
Cena's totally getting cheered here. All right, match is over.
Attitude was adjusted, but the record was not broken.
Okie dokie there.
Profound.
There's James Ellsworth right back there.
I swear to God, that is James Ellsworth.
He's gonna do it again?
The last 5 knuckle shuffle of
Cody gets
WrestleMania.
like right up to walk into the AA.
To a reversal. That didn't work.
And his shoulder's still down. Ugh.
Wonderful move by the veteran to dick slap his opponent. I know he didn't actually slap him in the dick, but he caused grief to his dickle area.
crotchal region.
It's one of those things where I feel
Yeah,
if
here we go.
I feel if The Rock doesn't show up tonight,
He
like
will.
it makes zero sense. Like
Yeah, I
He's-
mean, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It wouldn't surprise me at this point if he does, and it wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't.
yeah, same.
He has to.
But you make all this fuss about it, but then like you don't show up for like a month. It just story-wise makes no sense.
Avalanche.
I look at it.
Hey.
I look at it like this though. Let's say Rock's not there tonight. All right. And obviously this can all be moot in a couple, in about 20 minutes. But let's say Rock doesn't actually show up tonight. All right. So they did all this shit for really no reason when you come right down to it. Because again, you could have turned Cena heel without Rock in any way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
Let's say the clock hits February 2026. Triple H has got a plan as to what he's going to do for his main events at WrestleMania or whatever. And all of a sudden, Dwayne comes in and says, "Hey, I got a great idea. We should do this." Shouldn't Triple H basically say, "Dwayne, I think you should go fuck yourself"?
I'd be like, Dwayne, are you actually going to show up for more than 3
Dwayne.
appearances?
Yeah, it's like Dwayne, you kind of fucked everything over last year. After you almost fucked everything over 2 years ago. Last year
Sure.
now, but by next year it'll be 2 years ago.
Dwayne.
I mean, the match has been decent. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think we all expected this.
It's what I call serviceable.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a lot like last year, and also like when Rock came back to fight Cena. I remember I had great arguments with AJ about them. And I basically had said to him, I was like saying it preemptively both times. I said, "Why do you think Rock's going to go out there and have a fucking 4 or 5 star match when he hasn't wrestled regularly for so goddamn long?"
Yeah,
That
definitely so.
you don't just take multiple years off from being in the ring and then come right back and are great. And I think maybe he might have tried to say like Shawn Michaels, and I'm like, we're talking a lot of differences there.
Even
How
Michaels
many?
didn't come back and have a 5-star match. He struggled in his matches.
Right. Well, his first match back against Triple H was also like a Street Fighter, an unsanctioned match, whatever the fuck
Mhm.
stick they gave it. So it wasn't like he had to wrestle like an actual like match in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And then his next match after that was Elimination Chamber. So yeah, he got back into it pretty quick, but
Man, and I'm leaving a crap down my bear.
I'm sorry, but like this submission hold just doesn't do anything for me as far as like realism is concerned.
he's not even pulling on him or anything right now. Because obviously Cody's supposed to be crawling here, so yeah, this is not a great spot, unfortunately.
It's not that submission hold's not great.
I wouldn't say this match has been terrible, but I think there we go. But I would also say I think it's fair to say the only match that's been worse than this tonight is the one that went 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe the women's tag match.
I mean, it wasn't women's tag match wasn't bad, but
It was unimportant in a lot of ways.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is the time for fuckery, and it's been about 18 minutes into the match. There
That's
hasn't
what I
actually been
said,
any
18.
there hasn't been any true fuckery yet, though. There's just been a ref bump.
Yeah. Ooh, turnbuckle removal.
Remember, Cody's got that history of facial injuries. Dashing Cody Rhodes.
Yes, we're in the face mask.
Oh, there it was. I'm looking for the blade job. That can't be it. Okay. Well, you can't ever say Michael Cole doesn't try his hardest.
Yeah.
You can dislike him, but it's like he's always out there trying.
He is.
That was amazing too. I think they said this is his 20. I think they said this is his 29th WrestleMania or something.
Yeah. Well, here it comes.
Yeah.
Here comes the shenanigans. And look at Travis Scott was there.
I mean, it's been about 20 minutes now since the match started. I mean, again, how long is it going to take him to actually get to the fucking ring to do something?
How high is he right now?
He's waiting for his boss to show up.
I mean,
I don't understand the hardcore title bullshit he's
I
carrying
would
right now.
I would certainly say that he looks like somebody who barely knows where he is.
Maddox was asleep literally 2 minutes ago, and I was like, "What? What?" He heard Travis Scott. He's like, popped.
Of course.
How old is he again?
Maddox,
Yeah.
13.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't quite reached that age where it's like you can stay up to all hours yet. Yeah.
Yeah, fell asleep during last year's WrestleMania, or not? The
Did not fall
Royal
asleep
Rumble.
during last year's
I
WrestleMania.
know we were there. Sorry, I misspoke.
Like, why are you here, bro?
Jeremy just texted so
Go into the studio.
Oh yeah, I saw.
LeMay? Could he walk to the ring any fucking slower?
You know.
Yes, he could. He totally could.
Yes, I know.
When's the last time you got high?
I was just
He
trying to,
could.
I
He
was just
could walk
I was
slower.
just I was just more or less trying to express my overall dissatisfaction with how fucking long this is taking. What? This is just
It's not even wrestling anymore.
I'm pretty much not liking the way this is going at this point, so.
So
What the I was gonna say this is not a no DQ match, and the refs just basically this is becoming like an AEW match now, where it's like, oh yeah, everything's cool. I'll let you do illegal stuff in front of me, and I won't, care about it. Yep, pulling the official out of the ring. That's supposed to be an automatic DQ.
Why is Travis Scott helping John Cena at WrestleMania?
And now Cody's going to get distracted because he wants retribution for what Travis Scott did to his eardrum.
Yeah, he does.
listen to Wade Barrett talking about receipts.
Why did you buy something?
No, but he's talking about a major receipt.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, God, damn it, you got me.
What kind of mold humor
I'm
He
doing
is
I'm
so-
doing like the literal Naked Gun style humor.
Gotcha.
He's not
He is so small. Travis Scott is a small dude.
Yeah, that's why like anytime I hear something about he's like trained to wrestle or whatever, I'm like, so he looks like he's like 150
He looks like
soaking wet.
Yeah, I think Maddox might weigh more than this dude does.
Oh my god, this is
135.
You are? Yeah, you.
Like,
I wish you guys could see this. Maddox is going to be on camera, but he's losing his shit. Why? Why is this?
Oh god.
We'll end in a DQ.
Oh my
the
god.
ends in a DQ, I swear to God.
Main event of WrestleMania ending in a DQ. I think the whole arena would riot.
fucking Cena like be the squirrely heel.
Oh, please, mister, don't hit me with the belt. Cody stupidly turns his head, ball shot.
Ball shot. Yep.
Oh boy.
The ref is there, though.
Now you see, Lone
Travis
Star,
took-
why evil will always triumph because good is dumb. You need to kick the title all the way out of the ring there, Johnny. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got to that part where he slid it out of the ring.
Ah.
What the fudge?
So this is how we end the fucking match.
Well, as a great philosopher from a classic Flash animation site, the Honorable Mr. Strongbad once said,
Wow,
good enough.
that is
"Not good enough.
crazy.
F minus minus."
Listen,
All
I'm
the-
not surprised. Cena winning is not the surprise. Like how that ended.
Cena winning is not the surprise. The way that it all went down at the end and everything was shit.
Yep.
I thought I was mad 2 years ago when Cody didn't win. I was mad then. Now I'm just kind of like, oh my God, this is the best they could fucking come up with. And unless he comes out now here after the fact,
And hands the title to The Rock.
no Dwayne. So fuck you, Dwayne. I will definitely make sure I do not go see your attempt to be a credible actor by playing a UFC fighter that nobody even knows anymore.
So that's a note. Strong Bad also said, all the dudes come to my right for high fives and all the chicks come to my left for makeouts.
With his fake hardcore title, like
Then like when Homestar showed up for that, he said something like, "I'm gonna have to charge you extra,
Yep.
but I only take payment in gold nuggets."
Yep.
look at all the people cheering for
Chicken
him
nuggets.
though. Like
Or,
the people,
or maybe,
the people
or
were
maybe,
cheering
or maybe
him.
Denver Nuggets. Maybe chicken
The f-
nuggets.
Listen, the fans are legit cheering for Cena.
They actually just released like a quick, like short video. Did Homestar, which was kind of like celebrating the fact that it's existed for 25 years now.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, Homestar says something to Strongbad like, "Does this mean we're going to go back to updating every week?" Strongbad's like, "No, I don't think so." Homestar says like, "Oh, okay. So see you at Halloween?" Yeah, that sounds right.
Was WrestleMania MVP.
I really wish they would update more often than they do these days, because I don't know what those guys actually do now, but obviously they do something else. So
Joe, you're hearing this, right? Instead
What?
of talking about what happened in this match, we're talking about Homestar Runner right now and Strong Bad.
well, because that's more entertaining than the replays they're showing.
This is, I'm not, I feel dirty.
I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I know there's plenty of people who can argue with me, and I wouldn't say you're invalid to argue with me, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say worst WrestleMania ending ever.
Yep.
Even
I
because you
mean-
know what? Because you know what? I know everybody hated Hogan winning the title at WrestleMania 9. But here's the thing: I was still only 12 years old, and I was still only cared about Hulk Hogan. I fucking love that happening. Okay, sorry, Brett. I know it sucked for you, but me, I still love it.
Kittle.
Kittle's like, what?
And I know a lot of people might say WrestleMania 2000 because it was the first time a heel left with the title at the end of the main event match and everything. And yeah, that wasn't a great ending either. But again, just the way everything had been built to this, and the fact that that motherfucking egomaniac didn't bother to show up for this after hijacking it for the second year in a row. I'm sorry. Again, I knew
Well-
Cena was going to win. Again, he could have won in a hell of a lot better way than what they came up with. So
No,
sorry,
he breaks the
Triple H.
record too.
Sorry,
which
Triple
is,
H. You got a lot of work to do to rebound from this. I'm sorry.
What are they looking at? Is that Cody walking away?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's stumbling back up the ramp.
Yeah, I just saw that now.
That would have been a really good shot. Right
So,
there.
like,
oh wow.
s- I mean, it wouldn't make sense for
John
The
Cena
Rock
kid.
to. It wouldn't make sense for The Rock to show up at Raw tomorrow.
I mean, he could.
But like, why?
Why would he after not being there tonight?
Oh, Troy
Right.
was there.
Who?
So that's the whole thing, man.
I don't know what you're saying right now.
There's a YouTuber there.
A YouTuber? Yes, I'm sure there's a lot of YouTubers there.
Oh, but like, there's one that I know.
There's a YouTuber at WrestleMania.
It, Yeah.
Does your son understand that social media
I
influencer is not a credible
he
career field?
yeah, no, I think he was talking about a specific one
Oh,
that
okay.
we
No,
we're not
I'm just
talking
making
about
sure
yet.
because I was having a conversation at my job the other day with the one HR rep because she had been at like a recruiting event with like high school students that day, and she said they all like struck her as being completely aimless and directionless, and she said it was partially because it's like they just don't know what they want to do,
Yeah.
but it also seemed like it was like a thing where it was like they don't know what they want to do because they think they can maybe become internet famous, and it's like, dude, you're gonna be so
Yeah.
beholden to somebody and they can drop you like on a fucking dime too, so
Mhm.
you can't, yeah, I don't know.
I like how seen as like cut my music.
Oh yeah, I don't see that. I have a Disney World commercial right now. So yeah, I definitely don't have Peacock Plus. The cock's cock.
Cena's still trying to heal it up. I mean, obviously, because he knows how to play the part and everything.
Yeah.
I kind of hate saying it that way. He knows how to play the part,
The
but
30 years of being a heel. Oh wait.
what the hell's McAfee just doing?
I can't. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
I
Cena
don't know
just
what
left the ring. He
McAfee's.
put the title on his waist backwards, but as he was doing that, and he started to walk up the ramp. McAfee was like scurrying around the ring real quick, and I was like, was he trying to grab like a post-match interview with him, or was he just like leaving and then like all of a sudden said, "Oh no, Cena's still leaving. I can't leave."
Knowing him the way that I do and watching his show every day, he probably has to take a piss.
Well, I did see. I mean, I could get
Well, here
that,
comes the rest of
but
them.
now I
Michael
see
Cole's
him
back there
slowly
now.
walking up the ramp with Cole and Barrett. So,
Yeah, fair. Either way, I know that he does.
And Cena is walked up the entire ramp, keeping the belt on backwards.
So he's doing a terrible job being a heel. It's what he thinks a heel should do.
I guess it's like he's showing disrespect to the belt, but it's like, but he wanted that 17th belt so badly.
Mhm. All right, Maddox, time for bed.
Oh, yeah, this is quite the interesting event for ending a WrestleMania. And it was going so well. It was going so well until these
Yeah,
two title changes happened.
I think
Well,
tonight
one we
was.
knew was going to happen. The
I
other one,
was
I'm still upset about.
I was thinking that tonight on the overall was better than last night, but it's like that ending just sucked.
Yeah, that was
And
bad.
and it's like
Yeah.
I think I've maybe made this comment before. Sorry if I repeat myself, if anybody remembers that I repeat myself, but
Do it all the
like
time.
the Seinfeld finale was so bad that it makes my enjoyment of the rest of the series that came before it, which is mostly so good, like it makes me like it less because I just know the finale sucked. You know, it's like I
It
wonder if like and I know I never watched Lost, but I know a lot of people complain about that finale. So it's like, does for fans of that show, does the finale being so bad hurt their overall enjoyment of the show? So I don't know.
I
Yeah, to be
feel
honest with you, it definitely could. This is just once again, like we knew Cena was going to win, but the fact that Travis Scott comes in there to do whatever he did, which wasn't great at all, but just the fact that I think the whole thing
You
is
had to be there.
Dwayne not being there is a waste of him being in this storyline. It just really is. And if he shows up tomorrow night or Friday, what for what? For what?
yeah. To me, I'll let you
Makes no
finish, show.
sense. No, it's just frustrating because I'm just not sure where they're going with this now.
Yeah. Well,
The only
that's the thing. It's like, where are they going now? And it's like I will be able to watch Raw tomorrow night because I didn't cancel Netflix, but I won't see SmackDown on Friday because I did cancel my live TV. So,
And I mean, it's one of the things too.
and I
You
know
know,
Cena's supposed to be on Raw, so
yeah,
get
I
the
know
phone.
it's one of those things where they do shit like this because they want us to keep watching the shows to see what's going on. They do stuff like this for us to get upset as fans, and because we know we're going to keep watching the show to see what's going on next in the storyline.
yeah.
But you know, ah, It's interesting. Interesting. I think I'm, for as much as I don't like this ending, I think I'm still more upset about Becky coming back and being in a tag match and
Yeah.
winning the goddamn tag titles. Like, seriously? I
No, the
don't
only
know.
thing I can compare this to is when I found out how Red Dead Redemption 2 ended, and I had to stop playing it because I was upset with how I knew it ended. I'm like, nope, don't want to play this anymore.
I know
And
there's a lot of people who are upset about that.
and then 5 years later, I'm like, you know what? I haven't played this game in a while. I'm like, I love this game. Love this game so much. And then I got to almost the same exact spot in the game, and I'm like, and I was like, oh
Never
shit,
mind.
this
I
is
know
how
how
it
this
ends.
ends. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the a similar amount of disappointment. The match was okay for what it was, the championship match.
Yeah, again, we knew it was going to be kind of slow
Mm-hmm.
and stalling filled because
And
Cena's
paced
not in ring shape.
differently because of, Cena. And I'm fine with that. Don't have an issue with any of that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just
God, it was so
wow.
bad.
Yeah.
The end result. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and according to Cage Side Seats,
Yes.
when Austin crashed his ATV into the side of the thing there, they did knock it did knock a fan over, so that's why they were definitely trying to make sure she was okay.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was that female. I was like, oh no.
But yeah,
I'm looking for the repeat of it here again. It's like, boink, yep, yeah, more or less. So, oh, I didn't really finish my thought from before when I was talking about Bailey being taken out of the
oh
women's
yeah,
match because I talked about it was obvious trolling and everything, but yeah, did you
Yes.
see like what Mercedes tweeted about it? She sent out a tweet more or less implying that Bailey needs to come to AEW. It's definite trolling because I'm pretty sure I read multiple times that Bailey re-signed a long-term contract like last year. So
I believe
unless she
so.
asked to be let go, and I doubt WWE would let her.
Yeah, probably not.
quick side note, since they're showing the replay again, like with how long it took for the referee to get back into the ring after John Cena had to kick the belt out, people have kicked out sooner after getting hit by the belt.
Well, it was like when Triple H beat Booker T at WrestleMania 19. Triple H hits Booker T with a pedigree, and then it was like 23 seconds it took Triple H to crawl over and pin him.
Mm, fair.
She's standing outside the bus of former.
What? He's out there already?
I think that bus is bigger than my apartment in terms of square footage. I don't know.
Bigger than
No, it's
Definitely
than
could
probably
be.
probably not. I just wanted to say that.
Oh wow, Cody's walking back to his bus.
Brandy's up
already?
giving her a look. Wait, where's your kid?
Yep, kid's gone.
Yeah. Oh,
He's with grandma.
Yeah, he's with Cena.
Hayden Christensen will be back in season 2 of Ahsoka.
Oh, good.
I don't know if you had seen that or not, Joe. Or,
I did not. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that I was kind of hoping for that would have to be the result of Cody losing would be Cody getting a little edgier, getting a little darker, not like abandoning like all, not acting like Steve Austin, he was a face because he was cheered, even though everything he did was still pretty heelish. Like,
Yeah.
Cody doesn't need to do that, but he definitely needs to have a little bit of a harder edge. And I was hoping they try to do something like that with him losing it. They were starting to get that way a little bit when they started doing the KO stuff.
By Travis
But yeah, he needs to be a little less. She's a little more like, I'm just gonna
Ooh,
keep.
here we go. Men's titles, men's history. Cena 17, Flair 16, Triple H 14, Orton 14, Hogan 12.
Or it needs to stay till he gets 18.
Hogan 12?
Yes.
His
Hold
were
on.
longer though, weren't they?
Most
Oh,
world
yeah. I
title
mean, Hogan's
matches at
first title reign
WrestleMania in
was
WWE history. Cena 9, Triple H 9, Charlotte Flair 7, Roman Reigns 7.
Yeah, Hogan's first title reign was 4 years. But no, Hogan won the WWE title 6 times. So did he win the WCW title 6 times?
Yes.
Yes, he did. Okay.
Yep.
I guess I didn't realize he had that many WCW title reigns.
I just checked this out. So apparently Drew McIntyre tweeted
Uh,
allegedly during that. I mean, I don't know how true this is, but from Drew's Twitter account or X account was him in the hit when he grabbed that selfie. Still bored at work, LOL.
oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I think that was a family member of his or something
I
like
think
that.
it was because he was wearing like a jacket that had McIntyre's name on.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
But it's so funny though that he did that during the match. That's pretty cool.
While I'm here, quick side note. 2 days ago, on this day, Mark Burley tossed the 16th no-hitter in White Sox franchise history.
We might
And
not see
I'm
one
putting
of
my
them
phone
for
down.
another 16 fucking years. But
Jesus Christ! Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I got a alert on my phone earlier today. It's like White Sox have a 2-run lead. I'm like, oh sweet, and only to find out a couple minutes after, like a little bit after Easter dinner, it's like we got fucking curb stomped. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Again tonight. It's like we had a 2-run lead, only to find out they scored 3 runs. The Boston scored 3 runs at the bottom of the inning.
It's sad. Sad year again. I all right. Yeah.
All right, so for future shows, does my volume sound okay? Like, am I yelling at you guys, or is it
No,
okay?
you're fine.
No, I think it was
100%.
fine. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so according to a quiz on Sporkle, most days spent as WWE/WWF champion. So this does not include the World Heavyweight title or the WWE Universal title. Bruno, of course, is always going to be the champion of this. He held the title according to and they say that the combined days is according to WWE.
10 years or something.
Bruno's 2 reigns added up to 4,040 days. Hogan's 6 reigns added up to 2,185. Backlund's 2 reigns, 2,138. Cena's 13 reigns, 1,245. Pedro Morales' 1 reign, 1,027. Roman Reigns' 4 reigns were 850. Brock Lesnar 7 reigns, 828 days. Randy Orton 10 reigns, 674 days. Bret Hart 5 reigns, 654 days. Triple H 9 reigns, 605 days. Steve Austin 6 reigns, 528 days. Randy Savage 2 reigns, 520 days. AJ Styles 2 reigns, 511 days. CM Punk 2 reigns, 462 days. And Shawn Michaels 3 reigns, 396 days.
Wait, didn't you say it did not include the Universal titles?
According to this, the guy says it doesn't include the World Heavyweight title that was active from 2002 to 2013 and 2023 to present, or the
Okay.
WWE Universal title. So this is strictly what's been called the WWF/, well, actually, I want to be truly technical, what's been called the WWF/WWF/WWE title.
Okay, that one specifically.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like once they started like branching out with the title, especially once they did the Universal title thing, that's where it gets a little wonky.
It does. It does in regards to the history. But well,
All right, ratings.
I mean, we talking just tonight or the whole?
Yeah, let's do tonight because we haven't said tonight's yet. I think we said overall it was a C to C minus for yesterday.
I think I'll give tonight a B minus, but because the way that the main event match ended and everything, again, not the result, but the way, I can't really give it higher than that because there is like a bit of a grading on a curve thing here with it. So, and again, you had one match tonight too, which was really might have been a good crowd pop, but it was really a waste of time. So I'd say B minus.
I gave a C minus for last night. I'm giving a B minus for tonight with a C for an overall of both nights.
I'll say C plus overall for the whole show. Definitely was not as good as last year. Let's put it that way. And I'm not saying that because we were there.
I mean, yeah, I kind of think last year's was thinking about it now. I
Last
think it
year's
was
I think had
definitely better.
last year's I think just had just better overall moments. I mean, yeah, the Cody Roman match, was so overbooked and ridiculousness and everything, but it gave you the result you wanted. The Gunther Sami Zayn match was great and gave you the result that it wanted. The McIntyre, and then losing the cash into Priest was another great moment. Bailey winning was a great moment. So yeah, last year I think was just much more memorable in a lot of ways.
Oh God, Logan Paul's just come to the media scrum table.
Oh God, I can't wait to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to quadruple down on what you're saying. Yeah, yesterday's was really bad. Today's was a lot better. But yeah, I'll go with a B to your B minuses. But yeah, definitely C minus for yesterday.
All I'll say is this too, Joe. I can't wait till about Friday or so because that should be about when Cornette's show reviewing this show should hit. I'm really curious to
Oh,
hear what he's got to say.
yeah, I'll be listening to Busted Open tomorrow morning. I'm going to be curious to see what those guys have to say.
All I'll
What
say is
was
this too. I mean, because Cornette and his co-host talked about it. Well, Brian Last, his co-host, really presented the question when they previewed WrestleMania. Did they cool it off too much? Like was the build because the show was later in the year like too long and everything, and so did that like cool down the overall concept of the show and everything? And they were kind of like, well, maybe, but I I feel like again, there's not going to be nearly as much good buzz coming out of this show as there was last year. So they need to rebound in some way pretty quick, like just clearer, creative, whatever the case might be. We'll
Yeah, I understand.
Jesus Christ.
Logan Paul's like screw kayfabe. He was like, I was so honored to be in the ring with AJ Styles and da 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 da. And he's being professional right now, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't. With these, they generally do they not normally go
It depends on
real?
who it is. Sometimes they're in kayfabe. Sometimes they're not. It all depends on the wrestler and what they want to do.
Yeah, they vary as to,
I think they need to do one or the
and it
other.
differs from person to person too, which is what's kind of annoying about it. Is like some guys are going kayfabe, and some guys like speak as like themselves.
Right.
Yeah, no, they do. But all right, folks, it has been a hell of a ride this whole weekend for WrestleMania 41. Now we're gonna see what they do on Raw tomorrow night and SmackDown on Friday, and see what kind of ride they take us on. Next pay-per-view, the stuff with AAA acquisition. Are we going to do a draft this year? Is that going to take place in May or June? Yeah, we'll see what they have planned for us going into the summer. But well, recently had a trios, Pat. Like I said, we just need to come up with a trios name for Shane now because Jeremy's been regulated to a standard tag team. He's don't know who his other tag team partner is going to be yet, but he's been booted from the trios team. He is not defending the trios tag team titles right now, but just joking, Jeremy, kind of, sort of. But other than that, we had some good views. We had people coming in on and out, on and off, watching our podcast live tonight. So kudos, thank you all the fans who are doing that. and I will use Jeremy's ending. So, I hope you all enjoyed the podcast this weekend, and hope you guys finished